Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome. Welcome to, episode 6. The last episode that you know of Midsummer Mysteries, our little novella. I'm just saying there are mysterious possibilities, and I'm so happy to all have you here. This has been 6 episodes of excitement, drama, and feels, and maybe a little bit of ships, and love, and also whack being the best. And I'm so glad to have you all here, everyone. Thank you for being here. This is Table Story. This is Midsummer Mysteries, which is a Clockwork Dominion campaign. And I just want to say real quick, if you would like to help out Table Story, being here is the best thing you can do. Thank you for being here and watching. That is really great if you're watching here live on Twitch or if you're watching on YouTube. Hey, YouTubers, how are you? Thank you. Enjoy watching, and I see your comments, and I appreciate them very much. Also, you can listen to this on podcast at tablestory.tv/Midsummer Mysteries. You can also watch along in the Watch Along channel, which is on the Discord, which if you're not on the Discord, you should join the Discord because it's awesome. And we have a Patreon, which is patreon.com/tablestory. I'm just making it up. I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, that's right. Nailed it.
And if you support us on Patreon, you get special Patreon things. And also, I don't know what they are, but they're really cool. And they're like my thoughts. Like, you get my thoughts. And also, you get to support the channel and all the cast members and everybody here. And, costs for like subscriptions to Clean Feed and all that business. So thank you for being here, everybody. I don't think we have... Oh! Ungodly had its promo last Sunday, and I don't know if you know this, but it's also going to happen this coming Sunday, which is tomorrow. So you should totally be there because it's hilarious, and the GM is somebody who is like super cool, just like super fun and cool and awesome. Who is that? Who is that GM who's like the most awesome? Oh yeah, it's PB. That's who it is. Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was it. Also, I mean, they have an entire Rhyme of the Frost Maiden, Mistlight. Like, there's like a really great whole slew of things. Support everything when you can. All right. So, I am right now Trooper SJP, but I will become your GM, also known as your Gossip Meister. And I thought we should find out what has been happening, in this last time period. I mean, I think everyone has some thoughts about what's been going on. Well, personally, I have been enjoying a lovely day. We'll have a lovely dinner, and then we all played a little bit of croquet, and then we retired. There was some sort of hullabaloo, I thought, but then I woke up, and it was like a nice early morning when we played more croquet. That was very nice. A little bit of badminton. I had a good time. The lord of the house, the Viscount Bainbridge, seemed to be in a bad state and upset. There was all sorts of things. I don't know what all that sort of... I wanted to find out the gossip, but there's something going on about being tricked or lied to. I don't know. I think it's marital problems, really. sort of embarrassing. Well,
Wait till he finds out about the horses.
oh, well, that was quite the thing, wasn't it? Well, I mean, I could tell, well, I don't know if I should tell you. Well, it was all today was quite the day, you know. It was Midsummer, and it's Midsummer's Eve, but it was during the day, and, well, something happened. Well, there was some sort of thing about, like, young Natty running this sort of hounds thing, but then we hadn't seen the lady. There was this bicycle race, and everyone was all sort of confused about what thing was going on, and there was a whole bit of thing about how they didn't even know if Natty could do it, because he's not actually the Viscount, he's the Viscount's son. I don't know what that was about. Some sort of thing about something about bloodlines or something, and details, and some sort of concern that they didn't find the horses were gone, and then the Viscount couldn't leave the estate. I don't quite know why he couldn't leave. Seems like if he wanted to, he could just walk off, but apparently he couldn't. And they thought things wouldn't work out. I don't know. People were preparing. Anyway, what you don't know is that really close to midnight, the bicycle race had, well, we were waiting for the lady of the house to sort of kick it off, but she herself seemed to be somewhat indisposed, and she was quite disappointed she couldn't find Kelechi, the professor, you know him, and nobody could, actually a number of guests people couldn't find at all, so it's all very unclear. I think the bicycle race might be happening, I don't know, but she seemed quite disappointed, and, well, let me tell you the gossip. Shortly before midnight, not too long, maybe like 11 o'clock at night or something, which is quite late, all of a sudden something happened. I don't know what it was. Something happened, and the Viscount announced that he could go on this fox hunt after all. He said he couldn't, but now he could. I don't know why, but he sort of rounded up his hounds, and he rounded up exactly 10 of these sort of aristocratic men, including his son, and they all went off with their hounds to do this fox hunt. Well, now, I'm going to just say it's not really quite done not to do it on horseback. I don't know what the point is for not going to be done on horseback. It doesn't seem very traditional to me if you're just walking through woods. So it all seems a little bit, well, I don't know about the whole thing. Anyway, there's all sorts of hullabaloo. That's what I heard. Oh, I'm so sorry. One last thing I heard from being at the estate. Something, well, the Viscount was yelling and sort of quite disturbed about something. About his ballroom. He said it was missing, which doesn't make any sense to me, because, well, I was just in the ballroom on the first floor. It was very nice. Large, you know, they have the band and all that. But he was going on and on about his ballroom being missing and wondering what it was about, and there's something about Pontus events. I don't know. Anyway, something's going on, and I feel like I might know some people who might know a little bit more about what has been going on, you know. So I would like to ask... Tilly?
Yes?
You're a lady. I thought I'd ask you first because you're...
That's debatable.
Well, I mean, I have heard that your father... Nonetheless, you're of status and breeding.
What's your question?
Well, how has your week been?
Mildly upsetting, if I'm honest. I feel like I owe you an apology.
Me?
Yes.
Oh.
I've spent my entire life looking down on you and everybody else and the way they run things and thinking that I came from somewhere better, somewhere different. But apparently it's no different there either.
Well, I will take your apology, but I don't quite know what you mean.
It's all right.
Well, apology accepted. I'm glad to hear that you're feeling that, you know, our system of doing things is working well for people.
Oh, well, I wouldn't go that far.
Well,
I'm apologizing for looking down on you. You know, thinking that it's fine. It's fine.
Oh, well.
It's not good. It's not a good system here. It's not a good system there. And hopefully I can help change it.
Well, why would you want to change the system? I mean...
Because it's not working. It doesn't work. It's not good.
Well, I don't know. All right, look. You have a lovely estate.
Thank you.
You have lovely clothing. People, respect your title at least. And I'm a gossip meister, aren't I? I get to go to all the richest parties and eat all the nicest food and then talk behind people's backs. Seems like a lovely system. It seems to work for me.
And that's just it, right? Seems to work for you and me by default. But what about everybody else?
Speaking of everybody else, I can imagine someone else who it works for. Well, Otto Spice Ward, captain of industry, investor. You started off, I don't know, poor? And now you made a name for yourself. You're a self-made man, as it were. And you're an example of how our system works perfectly, isn't it? I mean, you're able to just pull yourself up by your bootstraps and just, I don't know, make money. I mean, it does involve you working with your hands or not inheriting money, which means you're not as good as people who just have money from inheritance. But nonetheless, you're able to get somewhere with yourself. So how has it been for you this week?
If I'll be really honest, society may work well for males, but not for all. That's just my personal opinion.
But you and I are both fellas, and so does it matter? I mean, really.
What? That's rude. I'm still standing. I'm still right here.
Oh, so sorry. Well, but you are a lady, but you're a lady with money, so it seems to be fine. Enough.
Yes, hardworking is great, but it should be hardworking for everybody and not just people who have a step ahead. Saying, like their father just gave them, a small loan of 1,000,000 coins or something like that.
Yes. But I mean, yes, I agree with you. That father probably shouldn't loan it. Just give it to him. Just give money from one rich person to the next. Because that's hard work, don't you think? Wait, now tell me, how's your week been?
Actually, a roller coaster of emotion.
Ooh.
Very much a roller coaster. There's high points, low points, and then points of just, some surprises, some very happy surprises.
Oh, well, would you like some advice from me?
Sure. What was your... I'm sure it's going to be very mind-opening.
Yes. Just a small note. It's the 1890s. You're a man. You shouldn't have roller coaster of emotions. You should have no emotions at all. Having emotions as a man is quite unhealthy. You should just repress everything. Just all repression all the time. I mean, you can be drunk or angry, but really, what sort of men have emotions? Poets. Who wants to be a poet? No one. So, just repression. That's the way to go. That's my advice.
Well, thank you. I'm sure that's working well with you. And how well are you doing in your business? Oh, never mind. It's okay. Don't worry about that. Just joking, right? I know your family business isn't quite as well. You're a gossip meister. Not quite a duke or anything.
No. Well, I should just go get some more sherry or wine. Speaking of wine, Kelechi, you don't drink much, I don't think. But you have also made a name for yourself. Some of those names are a little bit, what's the word? Dishonorably discharged? I'm still trying to figure out exactly how that happened. I've been asking all sorts of people, but apparently it's classified by the government, which seems strange to me. But how's your week been? And also, if you just wanted to tell the gossip minders just between you and I and whomever might be watching or listening, or who I might write in the newspaper for, exactly how this very well-respected scientist got dishonorably discharged and why I cannot find out anything about it. Anyway, how's your week been?
I mean, I suppose my week has been interesting. Yes, I think that's probably the best way to describe that. Again, I'm sorry, I can't tell you exactly what happened, why I got dishonorably discharged.
Yeah.
Again, apparently you've been asking around. You probably shouldn't, for your own safety.
Oh.
But, I was worried about Telly for a bit. We heard the Viscount screaming upstairs, and we thought they were in danger, but it turns out that they managed to escape, so that was a relief. Went down to my boardroom, which I created, got to see my baby again. honestly very beautiful, despite the very ridiculous restrictions that the Viscount put on me when creating it. But it withstood the waters, and apparently withstood Poseidon walking through it, which I didn't anticipate. So that's the thing I might add to the schematics.
I'm sorry, Poseidon?
Yes.
Figuratively, that's like a metaphor.
No, it's not a metaphor, and he did die, unfortunately.
I don't... Metaphors seem a very inefficient way of communication. Just say what you mean.
I see.
He's just crying.
Well, all right. Well, how are you now then? It's all sorts of things that don't really make a lot of sense. By the way, I heard something. There's a person, one of my colleagues, somebody that I confer with at times, goes by the pen name Murgles, or Mr. Giggles, really, is what I like to call him, because Laugh Riot was telling me sort of like a bit of a, what do you call it, a study of the clockwork, and I know that you work on that yourself. You're quite the follower of the clockwork. You study it, you know quite a bit about it, you're quite respected, I've heard, and your respect is only gaining. That if fate smiled on someone the most out of everybody here, that fate smiled upon you the most, the one who is most connected and in tune with the workings of the clockwork. What do you think about that?
I think I suppose it makes sense. I understand the clockwork, so I know when and how to interact with it to better me and better my circumstances, but I can't say it's exactly a science when it comes to that part. Even I'm not entirely sure how or why this clockwork seems to favor others and not so much, well, honestly, my friend, Nell.
Nell. Nell. Yes, my colleague and informant, Mr. Giggles, told me that you seem to be, well, a bit under a cloud of doom. You, the one who seems to be the most of a clockwork denier, seems to be bitten by the clockwork the most. Do you have any thoughts about that?
I'm sorry, did you drop this? I believe you dropped it. Here you go.
Thank you. That's mine. Thank you.
Yes, I'm sorry. What did you ask me again?
I think I have some money missing. Oh, I'm sorry. How's your week been?
Well, interesting. Interesting. Which has been quite enjoyable, for England.
Well, jolly old England,
surprising.
Best place in the entire world. Everybody wants to be like us. Everyone. Everywhere. That's why we keep invading places. Because they are so happy to see us. All the time.
Yes. I'm sorry, you had to say something about the clockwork.
Yes, I just noticed you seem to be quite full of doom. As if there were cards that had doom written on them and they just kept coming to you because you don't believe in the clockwork.
Who would believe in something that would cast doom upon them at will just because they didn't believe in it? I think that's a pretty unfortunate thing to believe in.
But, I mean, well... All right, how's your week been then? Writing any good novels?
I've recently done a very successful job at the current novel that I'm writing.
Yeah.
Yes. Very interesting twists and turns.
Yeah. I have a question. Do you write about fantastical things?
Well, I believe they're fantastic in their finality, I suppose, but...
Because, I was reading up I think it was like Christopher Marlowe, the Fairy Queen, when it was his play, like that sort of a thing. And I was just thinking about fairy creatures and whatnots and that sort of a thing. It seems fun. And if I knew a fairy creature, like one, I don't know, named like, what kind of a name do fairy creatures have? Things like Buttercup, or Daffodil. Oh, let's go with Buttercup. So if there were a fairy creature named Buttercup, Oh, you look... I don't know who you are up there in the corner. I feel like...
Hello.
Hello?
I'm a fairy creature named Buttercup.
All right. We'll just go with that. I'm sure you're just a regular person pretending to be a fairy creature. But tell me, how has your week been?
In this world,
All right.
it's been fine. Human, thank you for asking. Nothing at all to hear here. Everything is fine.
Great. I feel like there's something more to this story.
Well, because fairies aren't real, I guess I could tell you a story.
All right. I mean, fairies are real. I mean, everybody knows that they're real. You don't want to insult them, and they might then do bad things to your home or something. Yes, well, tell me a story then.
Surely you don't know any fairies, of course. So I heard, from a grapevine
Yes.
that, terrible things are happening on the other side of the veil. Something terrible is going to happen, I think.
Miss Buttercup,
From the vine, of course.
you seem so pleasant and happy, but the words you're saying are quite disconcerting. I just want to say that.
Have you ever heard a nursery rhyme? Maestro?
Yes, they're quite disconcerting as well, actually.
But you say them very happy.
Yeah. Oh, I just think we should perhaps pull back our curtains, because I'm somewhat disturbed at the moment. And speaking of pulling back the curtains, if I recall correctly, the last time we were here, well, let me see. We were in the 1,000-Year Wood, and it was Midsummer Eve. The last time our heroes knew it was the night before, and they had all sorts of time to plan and do shenanigans. But doom fell upon our crowd, and they found themselves entering into an underground ballroom, which they learn is a ritual space, on one day, and leaving the next day and at a different time and place. Rather than being underwater, they found themselves deep in these woods. The god Poseidon, who had been trapped there by the Viscount, died because he needed to be connected to water and he was no longer. And as our heroes look out into the forest at midnight on Midsummer's Eve, they saw perhaps the last thing they wanted to see. Nell saw a scientist, a doctor, calling to her, saying that he needed to do more experiments. The eyes he put into her head did not seem to be what he wanted, so he wanted to cut them out and put in new ones to just see. Of course, with things like eyes, you can't be... It's 1896, it's not like your anesthesia is that good. It's fine. And Kalechi saw the visage of his former slave master, who was delighted to learn that he had purchased a Nephilim who cannot die, and so therefore can do the most dangerous work. Because if it kills him, well, he'll come back in 3 days. And Tilly saw her mother, kind and loving and happy to see her, young her, full of care and kindness for her daughter, as she observed 12 or 13, 14, 15 mortals that they had kidnapped from the mortal realm and branded with their mark, the mark of the Queen of Summer, to be her thralls. But of course, Tilly she loves very much. And Otto did not see a vision or a shade. or at least he doesn't think so. Instead, he saw, stepping through, this, where they're at. They're right now, actually, at this underground ballroom that's out in the middle of the woods, but it is in front of this green painted gazebo. It is a gazebo that is green because the wood that it is made out of is young and fresh, even though this gazebo is clearly hundreds of years old. And the gazebo is covered with winding vines, and so the entire gazebo is this sort of wonderful green. And it is hexagonal, and there are these sort of archway openings on each of the sides, and in the center there's a table that has chairs around it, and on the table there is food and drink. There's like a pitcher of some sort of juice, perhaps, cakes, tea, all set out for those who are going to come here at the height, pleasant and nice. And these sort of open archways that lead you in and out of this gazebo. Buttercup walks through one of these archways from where, we don't know, from somewhere else into this archway, and that is what Otto sees. Otto sees his sister, or perhaps just a vision of his sister, meant to trick him. Unclear. Everyone is seeing something, so maybe what you see is not real either. So let us begin. Oh, sorry. And then also you heard the sounds of hounds because the hunt is on. But let us begin with our doctor. Our doctor from Department K, who needs to cut out Nell's eyes. And this doctor in a lab coat. Oh, I need Kalechi here. This doctor, who is in a lab coat with little spatterings of blood on it. It's a very crisp coat that clearly is well maintained. His hair is perfect, his long sideburns. Everything is well coiffed. But there's blood on his lab coat. And he holds a scalpel. And he approaches you all. I mean, you're all there. And he sort of taps the scalpel against his head, not cutting him himself. He's quite skilled with the scalpel. And as he's coming closer to you, Nell, not too close, but close enough that maybe if you wanted to talk to him, you might need to come closer. And he notes Kalechi. Ah, my good chap, Abara. Good to see you here. You've not yet been to my lab before. It's nice to have you as a guest. You've always have sort of been too busy to come to my lab, but I'm glad you're here. How goes your experiments? Found anything, any kind of new way to murder lots of soldiers? I hope so. Progress?
Do I know you?
Yes. We work in labs next to each other. We have done for years. Are you?
Oh, okay. Sorry, I don't remember faces.
Oh.
For people who are working on things that I'm not currently working on. Labs? I haven't worked in a lab for a while.
Well, but I just saw you yesterday. That seems strange. What, at the estate, well, you know, not too far from Scotland Yard, we're Department K. We had tea.
Oh, I do remember.
Yes.
That was nearly 16 years ago.
Oh, no.
And we didn't have tea. You sat next to me while I was having tea.
Well, yes, I was thinking about flesh and how one cuts into it, you know? Whether or not do you cut slowly or quickly? What's the best way to make your progress work? And nonetheless, I have a...
I'm very confused as to... I understand who you are now. I can't say I quite remember your name. But why are you here? Department K has been defunct for nearly 16 years.
Oh, that's funny. No, Department K is doing quite well. Tell me, why don't you walk with me? We can take a walk down the hallways and we can see a bit more. I can show you.
Not going anywhere.
Oh, is that one even speaking to me? Oh, this is one of my test subjects.
That one.
Yes. So, Abara, this one here, and it
Could you
points
please
to
stop talking for a moment? Now?
You did a good job, Doctor. And I start walking towards him, very slowly.
And he just backs up, matching your distance so that you need to come closer to the forest.
No,
You did a very good job. You see, I'm so strong now. Do you see what you did?
I love it. Good work. And every step you take, it's like a little dance. He just steps a little closer to the woods as you step closer to him.
I'm gonna take off my skirt, revealing my tail. And I'm going to try and grab him with my tail.
You'll need to come closer to him. And he's not running away. He's just moving closer to the woods. Do you move closer to the woods?
I do, yes.
I want all of the rest of you to notice that he doesn't even seem like he's backing up in his mind, right? He just seems to be sort of looking at Nell, sort of noting her, but he slowly, and sometimes you're not even quite certain if his feet are completely moving. But as she moves towards him, he keeps moving closer to the woods, farther away from the gazebo.
I'm going to run up to Nell and place a hand on her shoulder.
What?
Nell, you're part of the Department K program?
When she stops moving forward, he stops moving forward. He's waiting for her.
Yes. How do you think I got this way?
He's gonna turn Nell around to look at him and cup her face and check out the stitching around her eyes. Oh, is that? Oh, I recognize that. That was his handiwork.
I wouldn't call it handy.
Yeah, no, I was never a fan of that part of the department. Is that why you seem to recognize me? I'm sorry, I don't... Everything that happened back then, I don't remember very well. Or just a stage, I suppose. But I'm sorry if that... Is that why you're scared of me?
Unfortunately, I do remember everything. So, we move on. Kalechi, you didn't do it. But he did. And I start walking forward again.
And he just takes, every step you take, he takes a step back as you get closer and closer to the woods.
I would like to see if my tail is long enough to grab him.
It is not. He's dead right
It's
out
not.
of your reach.
Okay.
He wants you to just come closer to him. I need you to make a pull.
Yeah.
I need you to make will and composure. A 4.
One moment.
If you would please.
Yes. That is 5, 9. That is a 9.
That is a 9.
Yes.
This man experimented on you while you were awake, testing, cutting out parts of your body, replacing with other things, making sure you, of course, wouldn't die, although many did. Many people did not survive the process, and he was not sad, a little bit disappointed that his test subjects died, and he came back to the next one. And he would call you that one. Didn't really think of you as even human. You were poor. And he was never mean. He never insulted you. But he clearly didn't think of you as life that mattered. You don't think that he got enjoyment out of torturing you, but it also didn't bother him at all. And as he stands just out of your reach, just out of the reach of your tail, you have a feeling, and this feeling, at first you think it's your feeling, you know? As if I, as the gym, is telling you how to feel. At least you have this feeling like, oh, I must follow him to get him, right? You have that feeling. But there's a moment that you realize that that feeling does not originate with you. That feeling of needing to get closer to him is coming from him. He wants you to follow him. He wants you to go into the woods, away from your friends, alone. And he's steps away from the forest line, the tree line. And there's a shimmer to him. His edges are not as solid as you might think.
I'm going to stop.
Oh, come now. Test subject. Let's go. We have to do your exercises.
I'm going to look him deep in the eyes, and I'm going to turn around and walk away from him. And I'm going
test
to grab
subject.
Kalechi by his wrist and pull Kalechi with me.
Test subject. No.
I'm ignoring him.
And you can hear him, and then you think maybe the sounds are actually just in your head at that moment. As he goes, no, come back. You're not allowed to leave. You're not allowed. And he takes a step towards you, and as he does, he dissipates. And he does not control you.
I'm going to just kind of dragging Kalechi behind me, walk back towards the group.
And that is when, Otto, a voice you hear quite close to you. Well, you seem a right, well-off sort of bloke. And it's this man, broad shoulders, sort of red hair, wiry hair, big forearms, who's, you seem like you got money. And this man is wearing nice clothes, but he sort of looks to you like somebody who made his way to the top. Got lots of money, but he doesn't seem like a person who was born of wealth. A self-made man, perhaps. And he goes, whoa, look at you. I bet you've got a number of slaves, haven't you? You look like a person of means. That one's mine over there. I just got him. Good luck.
Slaves?
Oh, of course.
No.
Of course.
You must be a weak man, because no weak man actually wants to own people.
No.
You can't do it by yourself? I thought those muscles are something that you should be able to do.
They're not people. Perhaps you're mistaken, sir. That's a Nephilim, isn't it? We just are not people. I don't even think they have souls. So, this one's mine. What do you think? What do you think of him?
Well, since you're referring to him, you obviously see him as a person.
Well, I refer to my dogs and horses as him as well. Now, so how many do you have?
None.
Oh, whoa. You probably better work on that. I've got connections. I know all sorts of people. Sail the seas.
Do you not see how the whole act is deplorable?
No. Why would I? Come. You seem to be up and coming.
Have you always been this pathetic?
I'm sorry. Are you a woman speaking to me? Oh, sorry. That's ridiculous. So, sir.
How far is he from me?
Like 10 feet?
And how close is he to Otto?
They're standing quite next to each other.
I want to move to be in between them.
Well, you two have a family resemblance. Kalechi, I've got work for you.
No, wait, no. He doesn't work for you.
Well, he does, actually. Kalechi, I've got work. It's in the forest. I'm
gonna reach out and grab the dude's hand. Look in my eyes and said, no.
You're amusing. Kalechi, and he just, in his hand is an axe. And he hands the axe, he holds the axe out to you, Kalechi. I need you to go into the woods there, and I need you to, chop down a tree, the biggest one you can.
Kalechi, don't listen to this buffoon. You can't own a person, sir.
Well,
He can't even own a brain, it seems.
Abara holds out this axe.
You shouldn't be here.
I can be anywhere I want.
No. 15 minutes and 37 seconds. That's how long it took me to kill you. My poison, the first iteration, I killed you.
You wouldn't kill me, I own you. Chop down a tree in the woods. It's your job. You do what I say.
I think
All right.
if Nell's been dragging him, I think this point is kind of switched to Kalechi almost dragging her. He's trying to basically trying to charge at this man.
Axe.
No. If you're alive, I'll kill you again. I'm a free man now.
That's not how this works.
Kalechi, I don't think it's real. The doctor wasn't real. I don't think this is real.
No.
You'll never
It can't
be free.
You're free now. You are.
There's no freedom for you.
Don't listen.
Come on.
Is there a way I can test to see if he is real or an illusion?
That would be Focus Mysteries.
Okay, so I just pull a card and add focus and mysteries.
Yes, please.
I can do that. Okay, it's a -1. My focus is a 3, and my mysteries are a 2.
A 4. That is what you needed. You look, but not with your eyes necessarily. And you smell the entire forest. You know, you can smell this place. And you can smell everyone here, and everyone has their own sort of smells. Tilly smells of jasmine. Otto and you smell of fir. fir, the tree, which is the smell of the king of winter. And his domain smells of fir. Everyone touched by him smells of fir. Tilly smells of jasmine. Nell smells a little strange. Most mortals who are purebloods, they have a kind of a neutral smell. It's not the absence of a smell, but it's kind of like a neutral smell, perhaps a little bit of, it's hard to say, sweat perhaps. Nell smells a little different. She has that smell, but there's something overlaid on top of it. Not something exactly natural. It smells a little like raw meat, perhaps. But this fellow has no smell. And I do not mean that he smells neutral. I mean that he has no smell at all. And you notice the queen of the Fae, Queen Mab, the queen of summer, and she is quite close to the forest's edge, sitting on a throne, well, a lounge, talking to a small child, looking at Tilly, and she also has no smell. But you see something else, and that is a thin tether. You see a small silver line that connects Tilly to the queen, and a small silver line that connects Kalechi to this man. And you see a small silver line, broken and snapped, that is connected to Nell, and that small silver line that is now snapped is disintegrating and slowly falling off of her. And you see a small silver line between you and Otto. But the line is a different kind of silver. It's more like a silver gold, right? Or that sort of glows a little bit, with a little bit of a warmth connecting you both. But this fellow with the axe has no smell.
Is the tether something that I can touch?
You could if you wanted to. You could try.
I would like to try to break the tether between them.
When you touch it, it burns. Kalechi, you feel pain coming from somewhere you don't know where. Like a pain, like somebody kind of like poked you with something sharp in your chest. And this man who claims to have owned you, to have bought you, looks for a moment and goes, Abara, come now. Let's go into the woods.
Nell?
You've got your orders.
Yes.
Nell, what did you do to break the tether? There's a tether between Kalechi and this man, and if I touch it, I'll hurt Kalechi, but you broke yours.
I ignored him. I turned
Kalechi,
around.
turn around. It's not real, Kalechi.
I go up and I take his hand.
Or maybe you think you can kill me, is that right? Kalechi, you think you
And
can
if-
kill me?
He doesn't look away, then I will put both my hands around his face and turn his face to me. Hey, he's
Kalechi,
gone.
do you want to kill
He's not
me?
real. Don't listen to him. You're right here with me, with Nell and Otto and Buttercup somehow. We have something to do, and it has nothing to do with this.
Come on.
It's because
It's
of
not
people
logical.
like him that
He's
Not
not
real.
real.
I was taken from home because of people like him.
I know.
You killed
He's
him.
seen my
gone.
mother since. He needs to pay.
He did. You killed him. Remember you said that.
Kelechi,
Why is he here?
you made yourself better. This man means nothing anymore. You're better.
Well, if not you,
Shut
I should
up!
just go back
Shut
and get
up!
your friends.
He's gonna reach up and like hold the hands of Tilly there on his face, and just pull his gaze away from this man and just stare into Tilly's eyes, and you can see that I think probably the first time ever, even with Tilly, he's crying. He's just crying.
I'm gonna need some draws here. I'm gonna need will and composure from Kelechi, but because you've pulled help, both Buttercup and Nell and Tilly, and actually also Nell, you three may also draw what you are using to try to convince him, and we will take the best draw. And I feel as if we're getting at least presence.
So I'm just
Present.
using, pulling a card and using a skill that I think
Yeah,
I'm using to help. Okay.
And see, presence is your force of personality. Reason would be reason. So you're either descending, depending on whether you're going emotional or logical, your base attribute will either be presence or reason. And the skill you're using would depend on how you're approaching this, how you feel as if you're trying to convince him, which could be mysteries if you're going through the supernatural. It could be parlay, right? How are you trying to get through? But
So
you,
my pull was
but you are will and composure. That is
will and
Kelechi.
composure. Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's a total of 3
that will
for
not
me,
be.
because I pulled a 0 as well.
You have 11. What did you use?
So I'm using my presence and command, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And then I also pulled a 3, so that comes to 11.
I will get back to you.
I'm
Tilly.
gonna use. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
While the temptation is there to use what I'm strongest in, I don't think that's what I'm doing right now. I think I'm trying to use reason because I was using logic verbally with him because I know that it works. So I think reason and composure probably.
Yeah.
And I drew a -2. My reason is 2 and my composure is 3.
So that's a 3.
Yeah.
Buttercup. What about you?
I believe Buttercup's using reason and then using my intuition after seeing the tether to know that this man is not at all real.
Okay.
So that would be a 6 for me.
Okay. So let's
Yeah.
start with Kelechi.
I don't know then. Sorry.
What? No, you had an 11. Yes.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like I don't know if presence and command make sense.
That's you telling him not to. So let us get there for a moment.
Yeah.
Kelechi, that 3 is not enough, which means there is a pull. Nella's telling you, Tilly is telling you no, trying to physically stop you, but you know this man, people like this man, they will not stop. And he is there, and you know he is real. And he is beckoning you to either come kill him or come work. And the axe that you could use to either one of those things is loosely in his hand. And he just steps back. And you think it's been, what, 200 years since you last saw your mother? Your family, your home? And there is a pull, as if there were a tether between you and he, that pulls you closer to him and closer to the woods to do whatever you need to do, which might be kill him. It might be, I don't know. What is it that you need to do right now as you feel this pull?
So I think while looking into Tilly's eyes, he's again crying, and I need to kill him. If I don't, people like him will take more of my family and friends back home and bring them here.
But you've done that
And
already.
It's gonna pull her hands away and start walking towards.
And Kalechi starts walking closer to the forest as this man with this grin and this axe just moves back closer to the woods, drawing Kalechi closer to the dark woods where who knows what is there. Buttercup, you use reason and intuition. What do you say?
Kalechi, I know you're so logical. Everything you see around you is science and numbers, and it makes sense, right? This is not real, or science, or numbers. It's wrong, and it's magic, and it's not real.
Nell,
I promise.
you use command to stop this. How do you do it? Command is force of personality. It is determined. It is direct.
Yeah.
Command is direct.
Yeah. Kalechi, turn around as I turned away from the doctor. It's not real. Turn around. Look at me.
Kalechi, you heard Buttercup as if from far away, numbers, science, magic. And maybe you feel your feet slowing down as she speaks. And then clear as day, Nell's voice is in your ears. And a memory. You don't always pay attention to all the people around you. There were so many people who came in and out of Department K. So many people, always. You had your own work to do. You weren't always like around all those people, but you remembered a girl. Young, very young. And you remember that girl, it must have been Nell. You didn't talk to her or saw her, just briefly. She was being brought in with a bunch of orphans. A whole bunch of orphans were being brought in. You don't really so many different faces. But in that moment, as she's speaking to you, you remember in that flash, that image of that doctor bringing in a group of orphans for experimentation in that department. As she says that she turned away from him. What do you do? Where are you at? As he, with a bit of a cracked tooth and this axe, just drifts backwards towards the forest.
I think so. His steps start to slow a bit, and it comes just to a complete stop.
As does a man nearing you.
Thank you. I went through a lot, and because of that, despite that, I've achieved a lot. I've lost my way a few times, I'll admit that, but being used as an thing, as an item, made me understand that maybe that shouldn't be a thing people are used for. I can say it's incredibly inefficient, but honestly, it's just not right. So I'm going to... You're not real. I'm going to leave this behind me and
Don't you
work
want to
on...
kill me?
No, I want to go back to my workshop and work on some inventions that could do the job that previously people like me were made to do.
Come on. You're Nephilim, you're a demon. You want to kill me, don't you? Just step in the forest.
No. It would be very illogical of me to do that. And he's gonna turn around.
And as you turn around, Buttercup, you hear a snap.
You did it! Kalechi, you did it! The line is tethered. The tether is broken.
And as the tether begins to disintegrate, this man takes a step to you to make sure you stay with him. But as he steps, he just begins to disintegrate and melt into air. As he has no tether on you.
He's gonna turn to Nell. I hope I get the chance to at least explain my involvement. I promise you I didn't do anything directly with you or any of the orphans, but I can't deny the fact that I was, at the very least, adjacent to all of that. And I hope I don't deserve your forgiveness, but I hope you at least hear my story.
Oh, shut up. Just never tell me about the clockwork again.
I can't promise that. And he's going to go over to Tilly. And he's going to go over to Tilly and like not say anything, but just hold her hand and just not say a word.
Oh. Titania. What are you doing so far from me? And it is your mother. And the little girl is gone, but she's looking at you. My dearest.
I squeeze Kalechi's hand.
I have been looking for you for so long. Lost to me, taken. This is your home. I'm sure you've missed me, unless they've never told you about me, to think that my daughter was taken. They've done a curse to obscure you from me. But I can see you now, and you're so beautiful. You've grown so well. I hope you're ready to come home, because I've been so lonely without you. Where you belong, where you will fit. That loneliness that you felt, that not belonging, that yearning, that melancholy, that homesickness. I understand it so well, and I am here to bring you home. And she stretches out her arms in a hug, and you can see that she's missing a hand. She seems injured, your mother, as if someone, cruel perhaps, cut off her hand in some way. Your mother? Oh, my dear.
I am home. And I squeeze Kalechi's hand and I take a step back towards my friends.
No, dear. Dear. The stories that I could tell you. The visions we could see. You could travel the domain with me, the courts of the summer fae.
I'm gonna squeeze Tilly's hand back and try and impose myself in front of her.
My dear. And she sort of takes a step towards you in that way in which she wants you to step towards her, to be with your mother. And she reaches out to you with such sadness, as if you have struck her. You stepping away from your mother, she who has loved you for hundreds of years. And you are stepping away from her, and there's this look of hurt in her eyes as you reject her. My dearest, please. You know I cannot do all of this without you. You are the key to everything, to my heart. How could you do this to me? Please, don't abandon me now at my hour of need.
She's not real, Tilly.
But I understand now she speaks the truth. That's why it was so hard for Kelechi and Nell and everyone else.
Hard for them to what?
It rings true when someone says something to you that you know is true.
She hurts your feelings, but she's not your mother. She knows too much about you, but she's not your mother.
Tilly, you've never been one to want to fit in. And from everything we've learned, it seems like over on that side, it's no different to what's going on here. So I hope it's safe to assume that you don't really want to fit in there either.
I think secretly that's all I've ever really wanted. I just didn't think it was here. I will turn away from her, though. After everything I've seen, I know she's not real. Or I'll try anyway. I don't know what I need to roll, but...
Will composure.
Mm-hmm.
Can I help?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mine is not great, but I'm going to anyway.
Oh.
No way.
Yes,
Pull
wait.
it. Pull it.
I'm sorry.
Oh no.
Oh!
Wow.
Nothing can stop a doom card, my friends.
Wait, okay, hold on, wait. Can I pull and maybe clockwork smiles upon me and I pull a fate?
Nothing can stop. All right, pull a card.
fate?
If it's the fate,
Yeah.
pull a card. If it's the
Holy
fate,
shit.
we will discuss it.
I'm so nervous. Okay.
That is your
It's
only
the fate.
chance.
Let's go.
Fuck.
Oh.
No.
All right. Your friends entreat you. But this is your mother. And you can see how much she loves you, and that is true. You can see that her hand has been severed, probably by the Viscount, in some awful way. You can see that she's withering, that she's the queen of summer, but there is frost on the edges of her ears, and you can see that she's in pain, that there is something awful happening to her. And you know she needs you. And I need you right now to pull 3 cards so that we can, because you have pulled a doom card in a breached area.
2
And that's-
zeros and a -1.
What are the top numbers? The percentage numbers? What's the lowest?
35, 45, and a 50, so 35 is the lowest.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. She needs you.
May I make a suggestion?
Yes.
Because I don't know if that would truly sway me, but what might sway me is that if I don't go, if I'm not the one to take this across the threshold, then everyone else is in danger, including Otto, who has now been marked. If I
that is
want
true.
if I want to change anything, which is super naive, but I believe
Yeah.
it's possible, then I have to go.
You do.
And
but
I
not
can't
only
let
that.
her lose favor for me.
But it's not only that. You know, whoever she is, whatever she's done, that if she is not helped by you,
Yes.
the world will unravel.
Okay.
All of it. You know this.
That's all I need. Then yeah, I will go. I'm assuming the doom card, there's nothing I can do to prevent me from walking forward.
You will walk forward. They can do what they
Okay.
will.
Yep.
But you will walk towards her, towards the
So
forest.
then I will turn and I will say, just so I'm clear, role play and meta wise, I'm free to say whatever.
Whatever you want. Whatever you want.
Okay.
It is just that you have a...
But my
Draw.
goal is to get there by any means possible, right? Even if I'm
You
Got it.
must
Okay.
you must reunite with her.
Got it.
right? And
Okay.
if you step towards her, she will step back to draw you into the forest.
Right. But I'm
You're-
allowed to use the knowledge that,
everything,
like they're
everything.
going to try to stop me. And
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
all right,
The
okay.
only thing is that you have an overwhelming compulsion to follow her, as
Got
if
it.
she were like a will-o'-the-wisp, but just a more
Got it. Okay.
emotionally manipulative one.
So then I don't turn away from her, but I say, I know she's not real, but I don't know how to explain this to you. I feel it in my bones that I'm the only one that can stop what's about to happen, and the world could end if we don't. If I don't, and then I start to walk forward.
No, Tilly, it's not real. You feel that way, but that feeling is not true.
I've never felt anything more real.
And Tilly,
Well,
I
it's a
still have
lie.
your shoes.
It's a lie. We cannot let you. I won't let you.
Step.
She takes a step, and her mother steps back, pulling her away from the green gazebo and towards the dark of the woods. And you can see, Buttercup, that tether thicken and vibrate. And each one of you who is not Tilly, you can see this sort of like an overlay on her face. She seems to know what she's talking about and be present, but there is something upon her. Something has a hold of her, and as she walks, it's as if she's walking of her own free will, but also as if she's not. And as you speak these words to her, you can tell she's not really hearing you. Exactly.
I've made up my mind. We have a job to do. And in fact, really, it didn't involve me. There was no spot for me there. It was, Kelechi had to break the lock, and Otto and Buttercup, they're the door, and Nell, you had to carry it across, and it couldn't be me. And in fact, none of it could be me. I didn't belong in the plan anyway. You go and you do that, and this is where I belong.
She's gonna
This
make
is
me
how
knock
I
her
can
out,
help.
isn't she? I would like to knock her out.
And I will note those words ring that she was not part of the plan is what the word she says. That's what she says. Everyone had a part, but she had no part. And that doesn't seem to make sense. That doesn't seem to make sense at all. As she's being lured away from the gazebo. She, the daughter of Queen Mab,
I had no part.
I'm going to need from you Grace plus melee.
Okay. So that would be a 5 from me.
what is your physical defense? Which should be your grace plus athletics.
Is there a negative? Because I'm literally focused on something else. Sorry.
Yeah.
I've got my
yeah.
effect on.
You have no guard at all.
Okay.
Yeah, you have no guard.
So it was grace and
Athletics.
it was grace and what?
Athletics. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's hilarious. My grace is a 1, as we all know. Tilly's not so graceful.
Yeah.
And my athletics is a 0.
Aha. So that's a 1. What did you pull, Nell?
I pulled a -1, but my grace is 3 and my melee is also 3. So it would be a 5.
So you beat her by 4? Mm-hmm. Which is enough to put, and she has no guard, so you can put, so this is how it works in Clockwork. When somebody has guard up and you make a hit like this, then they lose guard.
Yeah.
If, however, they don't have guard, that means, and you hit them, you can put an outcome on them. And oftentimes that outcome might be a wound, but it doesn't have to be. It could be a wound, it could be a subdual, or what other condition you like.
Okay. So is it safe to say that I succeeded within a reason that I could describe to you what I do?
Yes.
Tilly, I'm so sorry. And I'm going to lunge forward. I'm going to lunge forward. Yeah. I'm going to lunge forward. My tail is going to wrap around her waist to pull her close to me. And I'm going to get my arm around her neck and I'm going to choke her out.
What are you?
I'm just putting her to sleep.
What are you doing?
As you are doing this, putting her in a sleeper check, let me just, shuffle all those cards so we had that. You feel something rustle inside your pocket. And the hand starts trying to get desperately to Tilly. The hand that you found in the tether, the hand that has embedded within it the gem, the beating heart of the Queen of the Fae, starts trying to drag its way towards her as you are holding her.
Okay.
Can I see the hand?
Oh, you can. Yeah, it smells very, very, very strongly of jasmine.
I see what you did there. Fairy. Get it?
Yeah.
Fairy?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I'll see myself out.
Very strongly of jasmine. Like it's like such a super intense jasmine smell, not like regular mortals, right? And this hand has within it this red gem, like a ruby embedded within it that sort of like beats with a heartbeat. This for you is of the Borderlands. And this hand is trying to wriggle its way out of Nell's pockets to get to Tilly, as if Tilly is the most important thing.
I would like to try to fling this hand into the woods.
What happens? Not in
the woods?
I mean, Buttercup doesn't know.
Said it, so you have to do it.
Give me vigor plus athletics, if you like.
So you got to dive into I just to give it
coming
like
out.
an idea.
It's coming out. It's like a spider
it's coming
on
out
you.
of my. Okay.
It's like Thing from the Addams Family.
And after seeing all of this, if Buttercup comes closer to Otto, Otto is going to take a few steps back.
Oh, that's a good point.
That's gonna be a 0.
Oh no.
Nice.
Which sounds like it might have been for the best, I'll be honest.
You go to grab this hand, and the hand slips out and ends up crawling up on Nell's other shoulder away from you, and then starts moving its way again towards Tilly.
Is Tilly out?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to. I know that this hand is crawling on me. I also know that no one can touch this jewel. It was made very clear. So I'm going to back up and book it from Tilly as much as possible while grabbing the hand and to try and shove it back into my
Just to be
little
clear,
sleeve
you just
pocket.
drop me.
you dropping?
So I'm like, no.
No. I choked you out, but as you fell asleep, I went down to the ground with you, and so I laid you on
I'm
the
like
ground.
laying there on the ground.
You're
Okay.
laying there on
Got
the
it.
ground, yeah.
Got it.
And the hand clearly wants Tilly.
Is Tilly's mom still here?
Tilly's mom is sort of here, but the tether is frayed, right? Okay. Having her knocked out is making the tether unstable, and the mother is speaking, but no one can hear her. The minute Tilly lost consciousness, you could no longer hear her mother. And what you see, however, is the mother is the gestures and the mouth of the words seem to be the exact same thing that she did before, as if she's in a loop. That she's saying the same things to Tilly, but Tilly is not conscious. And it's now kind of a loop, like a programmed loop, like hand out, like the same thing, the look of hurt, stepping back. Like it's now this sort of loop that is beginning to glitch a little bit. The longer that Tilly is out, the more the repetition happens, and the stranger, the more unstable that tether gets.
Okay. Kalechi, can you pick her up?
It's
Yes,
frayed.
yes.
It's frayed. She has to stay out. For now. And I'm
just gonna
holding the
pick
hand.
up-
Yeah.
I want to pick up Tilly. Please don't make me roll for this.
I'm going to make you roll.
Ah, fuck.
I need you to roll. I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
The other end,
I just want to get ready for this.
the skill, right? This is a thing. The skill that I think that you're going to need for this is mysteries, is what I think that is in terms of skill. The aptitude. When you go to pick her up, I need to know where your heart is at. Is this presence, which is about your feelings, right? Or is this will, which is about your determination? When you pick her up.
I'm sorry, I have to read this out. I'm sorry, because this is really... PB... I'm just gonna ruin the mood, but PB thought the chief was gonna say where my hand's at when I pick.
No, I need to know where your heart is at. I need to know where your soul is at. When you go to pick her up, because you're not going to be pulling for vigor and athletics, which is to physically lift her up. I need to know where your soul is at.
Yeah, he's very much in his feelings right now, so I'm going to be, I think, his
Presence.
presence. He wants to get the person he deeply cares about out of harm's way.
So please pull presence and mysteries.
Fuck. Presence and mysteries. Can I use an ether to reroll?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Oh, thank God.
Okay.
Okay, that's a 7.
7. Interesting.
Reason presence. Presence and mysteries, yeah.
Can I get from Buttercup focus mysteries?
Yes.
Please pull.
Ooh, okay. That is a 3 plus a 3, which is a 6, plus mysteries is 7, 8.
Okay. Kalechi, you go to lift Nell, who's on the ground. And as you go to lift her, you notice in the middle of midsummer, there's frost on the ground. And it's feeling very, very cold. and there's a sort of a strange feeling in the air.
It's a pointless event.
You feel it. But as you begin to lift her, it's not your strength of physical body that is doing this. It is something deeper within as you lift. And as you lift, there's something that will not let you move her away, as if she's tethered. You can feel a tug somehow. You can't see anything, but you can feel it. And Buttercup, you see what he's trying to do. And you see that this tether is fraying, it's weakening, and he has a strength to break it almost. You think if you just touched the fraying part, you could help him snap it.
Last time I touched the tether, I hurt someone.
She's unconscious. It's fine.
All right. Well, if that's what I think, then I'm gonna try to separate the pieces of the tether. I'm gonna grab the queen side first, the more frayed side, and then pull apart Tilly's side.
And when you hold the queen side, you don't actually have to pull it apart. Anchoring the queen side gives enough tension so that when Kalechi pulls Nell out, he can finish snapping the tether. All you needed to do was hold it.
Kalechi?
Yeah, I've got her.
Okay.
The queen begins to dissipate.
I think it's broken. I think you broke it.
Tilly, there's a dream. Brief. It's a memory, perhaps? You are home in the land of the of the Queen of Summer. And it is a fairy tale land that's sort of sad, a little melancholy, but it is spring and summer. And there's a bard singing a very mournful song of loss and of home. And your mother turns to you, her face shifting here and then, and she says, "My dear, I have to go. We have to go on a bit of a hunt. Stay here, you'll be protected." And she smiles. And she gets upon a horse, and she rides off with her retinue.
Wait.
And she smiles at you, and she says, "That's all right. I'll be back. Don't worry. You're safe." She smiles. She goes, "Oh, you should probably read while I'm away." And she hands you this book. And it is leather bound. And she ruffles your hair. And you can see all of these people as she rides off. And as she leaves your sight, a hand touches your shoulder. And standing there is a man. Thin nose, ears pointed, hair covered in leaves. He's tall. He is green, 6-7 knuckles on each finger, hands extended, and he puts his hand, he goes, "Well, little changeling, we don't need your mother to have you around anymore." and he just puts his arm around your waist and he just snatches you away. And that moment when you're snatched, you wake up.
No!
It's okay. We've got you. I've got you.
Okay.
I'm just gonna hug her. It's okay. Everything's gonna be okay.
You remember? I remember them taking me.
Just gonna give her a tighter hug after that.
Who took you, Tilly?
Oberon. Your dad. Or granddad. Whatever.
Do I know how she escaped if she was taken by Oberon?
How close are you two together? Physically.
Me and Tilly? Mm-hmm. I'm probably very close since I was just pulling her tether apart. I would say I'm on the ground next to Tilly, like on my hand.
Interesting.
I don't like that. You said that.
Are you looking in her eyes?
Yes.
Interesting. She's upset. Kalechi's holding her. Do you reach out to comfort her? Do you make physical contact with her?
I think that I don't know Tilly well enough that in a moment of crisis, I don't know if she wants to be touched or not. So I think that I'm sitting in front of her, talking to her, but I don't know Tilly well enough. I'm wearing her shoes, but that's kind of the most I know about
That
Tilly.
makes us best friends.
That does make us. Our toes have touched, but that's about it.
You look her deep in the eyes as you look to see. And you asked, do I remember how she escaped? You asked that question, which means you're thinking about that question. And you're thinking. And in a moment, there is a mess of memories at this moment. It's confusing. It starts with Kalechi remembering Nell, the orphan, being brought in, remembering that. And then, Nell, you remember Otto when you were very, very young, talking about his sister being taken and seeing his parents murdered. Otto, you remember creeping into a warehouse. Your parents had been taken, and there was going to be a ransom exchange. Your parents were going to give money to get your sister back. Your sister had been taken by criminals, thugs. You don't remember. They didn't take you because they didn't know you were there. You were maybe out or playing, but you weren't there when your sister was taken. They didn't know about you. But they took your sister and they were blackmailing your parents. You were very young. You don't really remember. You were 7. And your parents went off into the night to get your sister back. And they told you to stay at home, but you didn't. And you crept and crept. And you found your way into the docks to a warehouse where your parents were. And these men were there, but your sister wasn't. And you remember a creature coming out of the darkness. A creature that was not anything normal. Nothing you'd seen before. Something that burrowed out of the earth. Long, sleek mass of skinless muscle no skin, needle-like legs, and this forward legs had digging blades of bone, and has this pointed head, and it burrowed
Like a
through the
beak?
ground. Yeah. But huge.
Am I remembering this as well?
You're all remembering each of these pieces.
Okay. So
Even
I'm
though-
saying some of this out loud
Yes.
then. I'm trying to describe what I remember, like probably its smell and its sound that it made, and then that it had a pointy beak.
But you weren't there. But you're seeing this shared
Yeah.
memory.
Okay.
And this creature devoured your parents, Otto.
Oh my God.
It spat black bile, which was like acid. And as its claws hit your parents, corruption just consumed your parents. And then the memory now is of those two men. You're not there, Otto. They're no longer there. They're in these woods. These woods. And they are carrying... Buttercup, they're carrying you. You remember being taken? And then these two men grabbing you and dragging you. You don't know where your parents were. You don't know where Otto was. And they took you. And you remember now being in the woods when they took the bag off of your head. And there was a man. You didn't know him then, but all of you know him now. It was Viscount Bainbridge. And he was standing there, and they handed him over to you. They handed you over to him, and he smiled. And he said, "Well, this will do. There's always an exchange. This will do very well." And he walked to the gazebo, the green gazebo. And he walked through one side inside the gazebo, and through the other side walked Oberon, carrying Tilly.
If I remember this, I 100%
remember.
am like grabbing onto Buttercup then, because like I'm so sorry that like I feel responsible.
And Oberon says, "Was this the only one?" And Lord Bainbridge says, "Of course." And Oberon says, "Good. I will have the power and she will not." And he takes you, Buttercup, and he gives Tilly to Bainbridge. And Oberon says, "I will not have her, that one, anywhere near my lands on this side. She must go somewhere else. She cannot be on your estates. Her presence is an offense. I will not have one of Mab's children disturbing my balance."
As children, we're both awake for this.
Yes.
We're just
Yeah.
like chilling in these monsters' arms.
No, you're freaked out, but you
Yeah.
don't have a lot of physical control
Yeah, right,
at this
right, right.
moment. Yeah.
Chilling was a state of
yeah.
words.
And Bainbridge says, "Well, of course, my lord, I will make sure someone else takes care of her, just so that her presence does not disturb you. I know someone. I've never liked them anyway." And
Wow.
he walks off, and Buttercup, you are brought into this world. And Bainbridge leaves the child. He says, "Anyway, she should be with her father," as he goes to drop her off with her father. And Kalechi, you remember Bainbridge coming to you and saying, "Oh, Kalechi, I'm sure you don't want the sort of experiment you've been doing here in Department K to get out. That would ruin your career. You wouldn't be able to work anymore. Well, they might even hang you. But I can protect you from any sort of fallout. I just need a few things. I need you to build a few things for me. I need you to build a few things."
Of course. What do you need?
I need a ballroom. An underwater ballroom. And the last thing all of you remember is a man. It's tricky. There are all these different people. Different people. You see Robin Goodfellow smile at Buttercup in the lands of Anwin, the lands of the King of the Winter, smiling to see you, to say, "Well, my daughter, it's good to see you. At least you're home." You see a man, tall, kind, a little sad, Tilly, your father, pick you up from a fairy circle as you've been dropped off and bring you to the home, and his wife is not particularly happy to see you, but you are his child and must be taken care of. And so you are welcomed into this home here on Earth. And you see him remembering. Now you have his memories of where he first saw Mab and fell in love with her. And was lured by her.
Oh, wow.
And
Just to clarify, I'm getting his memories of seeing
Yes.
her and being lured in, and I am assuming that this was her plan all along to get back at him.
all you know is that you're a changeling, which means you have one fey parent and one mortal parent.
Yep.
And it seems to you as if your father was your father all along.
Yeah.
And then you see Bainbridge speaking to a man, saying, "Watch that one. She cannot be allowed to interfere with anything. She's too dangerous. Keep her under watch. Don't let her know anything. Learn anything. Keep her under watch." And the man says, "Right, but what about the, the freaky one? The one with the eyes." And he goes, "Well, I don't care about things like that. She's an orphan, she's done with. What do I care? As long as nothing gets out, as long as no connection between she and I, and my funding, it'll be fine. Everything will be fine. She's not important, that one. Everything will be fine."
They must have had a contract.
And then you hear, all of you, out loud and not in memories, breaking the memories. You hear a voice, and the voice says, "Oh no, my friends, everything will not be fine." And there, emerging from the edge of the forest, with a pack of hounds, and a fox bound and alive over his shoulder, and a long silver knife at his side, is the Viscount Bainbridge. That's where we're gonna go on break. Except that sound. Oh, Kalechi. The Pontus is rising. The Pontus is rising, and the veil is thin. We're gonna
Can't
go on
wait
break.
for the bicycle race later.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Good.
Yep.
Bicycle.
Yeah. Hey, everybody.
Ooh, holy shit, man. Those reveals.
I
what
love
the
you, but
fuck?
also
Oh.
Fuck you. Yeah, I'm gonna say it.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I was just like, I'm just drinking a beverage, got some water.
it's just flowing through you. You're just the messenger.
Yeah. Oh, my friends. We're going to go on a 10-minute break. We're going to stretch our legs. We're going to go and like hydrate. And
It's gonna be interesting.
he's here to visit because he has reserved this
He's
spot.
here to die. I
He's
think we're all
reserved
on the
this
same
spot.
page.
This is like, you know how like when you reserve a spot, like reserve a room? He has this
Yeah.
reserve room.
That's
Tombstone
awkward because
is
I'm
what he
already
reserved,
sleeping in this bed. So. And there's no one to change the sheets. So
But I mean, he's reserved the gazebo for this evening. So, yeah. We're going to go to break, and they're going to try to figure out what they're going to do with that.
Sorry.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the end of our show. Maybe. I have a surprise, but I'm not going to tell you until later. Surprise, but not till later. We're back. When last we left, all of our heroes were dealing in many ways with their pasts. With shades that were will-o'-the-wisps, meant to lure them deep into the 1,000-year wood, which I'm sure would not be a problem at all. But it would. And they were able to not have that happen. And in a moment of connection, they all sort of had these connecting visions of the ways in which, that sort of slightly out of time, the ways in which Queen Mab seduced a nobleman and gave birth to a child. And that child was desired by Oberon, but Mab would not give that child up. And so Oberon took the child, kidnapped the child, and exchanged that child, Tilly, for the one child he knew about that was of his offspring, Buttercup, who is the daughter of his son. But of course...
So does that make her Princess Buttercup? I'm so sorry.
Well, technically, yes, right? But line of succession, yes, Princess Buttercup. And I see you, Lexi.
Sorry.
that's specifically a PB.
Yeah. But in order, of course, Oberon cannot get this child himself, so he gets Lord Viscount Bainbridge to get the child for him, and he hires some thugs who go and find Otto's and Buttercup's family, kidnap Buttercup, kill his parents, her parents both their parents, with a terrible, horrible creature. There was a Doom card pulled, just noting it. And just noting that, just noting that a Doom card was pulled. Just gonna put it out there.
It was me. I pulled it.
Yeah, and traded in exchange, an equal exchange, one for the other. And then that man who funds experiments to orphans, ended up sort of experimenting on Otto's best friend, and then spending quite some time working to gain power and influence, including having Kalechi do work for him to create the cage that starts this whole thing, without telling Kalechi that's what he's doing. And this man is now standing at the edge of the wood with a pack of hounds and a fox and a sort of ritual machete, perhaps? And he stands there and he says, "Everything will not be all right. Well, where have you been? You missed the party. And you can hear people in the distance. You know others are coming. And there is this smell. All of you can smell it now. Fur. Fur. The fir tree. A little rotting, of course. You know there are always 10. So you know there are 10 lords coming. But they're not here at the moment. He's here, bold by himself, perhaps, but with his hunting hounds. And he is dressed as if it were the 1600s. He's dressed in slightly older clothing. And he looks as if he is so pleased with himself. He looks over at the ballroom, which is still there, sort of now transported and broken. And he goes, "So, was this your doing, or was this the Pontus event that ruined my ballroom?"
That was our doing.
Well, if you'll excuse me, this is, I have business, and he stops. And he looks at you, Buttercup. What are you doing here? Are you the messenger?
Wait, she's real?
Wait.
I thought she was your temptation. Sorry, I'll shut up.
No, I thought.
Do I know if he could be tricked?
Well, anybody can be tricked.
That's true, but as a medium, I think I have more power over people that are weaker.
Medium lets you see things. He's a mortal. Not
He's immortal?
immortal. He is a mortal.
So, like, a glamour would be useful on him, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I would like to attempt to use a glamour to make him think that I'm, like, whatever would be easiest for him to digest. Like, whatever makes the most sense for him.
Well, right now, he doesn't seem to be distressed with you.
He just doesn't care?
No, he's like,
not
are
like-
you... He was, like, surprised to see you. But he's like, are you the messenger?
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go along with it in hopes that they know that I'm definitely not the messenger. Yes.
I'm gonna need you, presence plus Gaia, please.
Yeah.
Is there a way for me to know she's not casting anything, right?
No, she's not casting anything.
Okay, then yep.
It would be a 4.
He sort of looks at you and he goes, oh? Let me pull, if you don't mind. What do I get here? Oh, I see.
You get fucked.
It's a -3 that I'm pulling. And he goes,
Think?
well,
Oh, yep. Go ahead. Sorry.
I've never seen you come here for the transfer, but if you're the messenger, I'm surprised he let you out of his sight.
I don't think I'm ever out of his sight.
Well, that's fair. Well, are these... And he looks at the rest of you. Are these people... And he thinks about it, like he's trying to figure out what to do with you all, and he's like,
So I'm so glad you came here just at the nick of time. My dear liege wanted to know that this is a very special occasion, and of course, with special occasions come new rules and regulations that we must uphold.
well, rituals are rituals. Friend, and he just kind of, like, he's still trying to figure this out, and he goes, Kalechi, well, Mr. Ibarra, you're an expert on the Pontus, the clockwork. And, like, you can tell, because he's got all this stuff ready, and you know he's got people coming. This ballroom situation, was that a Pontus event?
Yes, and it seems like there's another one coming, so you probably should hold on, actually, I actually have something for this. And he's going to like,
It begins
he's going
to
to
snow,
tell,
just so you know.
okay. He's going to like, I think he's holding Tilly still right now.
Yeah.
He's just going to turn to Tilly and just say, just look away. And I'm going to let her go. I'm going to walk up to
Oh, I don't do that.
Bainbridge.
I don't look away. If you think I don't know like who you are and what you're capable of, and that I don't love you anyway, you're insane. And I'm very excited to see what he's going to do to this man that I hate.
And as you're walking up towards him, you can see, I'm going to need, if you don't mind, because here's the thing, none of you are lying. Do you know what I mean? Like, none of you have lied at this point in time, really. And everything that you have said also makes sense. Also, he still has an affinity on Otto that Otto put on him, so he likes Otto. Can I just get like a presence plus something social from you all for a vibe?
Yes.
Are you vibe checking us right now?
I'm vibe checking.
Vibe checking.
Yeah.
Vibe check.
Yeah, I just need a vibe check. I want to know, like, because here's the thing. He doesn't like this, but then this may not have been your fault. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's like, well,
yeah,
if you got transported here, then this maybe just isn't your fault. But then what were you doing in my ballroom? So he's just kind of like trying to get a vibe check. Do you know what I mean? Like, he kind of just wants to get a sense of if you're feeling hostile. Or,
Take parlay or
yeah, whichever one you like.
It was right. What were our options again? I'm so sorry.
You've got like parlay, guile, temptation,
okay.
Some kind of social skill. Just give me a sense of how you're vibing.
But with presence?
Yes, please.
Okay. 7.
Okay.
7. What were you using for your social skill?
I used presence and guile.
Okay.
presence and parlay, and I got a 8.
Okay. We're gonna hold on to that.
I used presence and refinement, and I got a 6.
Oh,
Right,
very
that's right.
nice. Okay.
I was gonna ask if I could use an ether in repull.
Yes, you may.
Okay.
I am using presence and composure. Would that be all right?
Yes. Yeah. To sort of like keep. Yeah.
To keep myself. With that, I'm a 9.
Okay.
How many times can I repull with an ether?
1.
Okay. Right. Yes. I
Tell me what you got.
have 1.
Okay.
Oh no.
All right.
Which seems weird since I did just convince him a few moments ago.
Yeah,
but whatever.
but you're also weird. Do you know what I mean? Like, you are not from this land. You know what I mean? Like, you're from the borderlands. So, like, you're kind of, so remember the skills you used and keep this in mind as this conversation continues, right? So I just want you all, not all of you, but most of you, pulled super, super well. So his vibe on you is going to be, he's going to buy your vibe. Do you know what I mean? Like, he buys your vibe. You, Buttercup, are weird, but also you are some kind of weird fake creature as far as he knows, right? So he also kidnapped you, so there's that. And also paid for that kidnapping. So therefore,
So, like,
he's
maybe I just don't like him. That's the vibe he's picking up.
Yeah. Also, he's responsible for, like, the death of your parents, but whatever. So anyway, so he's... So he's just like... So I just keep the skills you used. Keep that in mind as we continue on. So he sort of goes, as you're walking towards him, clutches, well, if this is a Pontus event, that seems... Well, I suppose I'll have to, thank you. Anyway. I mean, I don't like that this ballroom has been moved, not technically, but I suppose it did break a couple things that needed to be broken. So that's convenient. Good job, Kalechi. I appreciate your work, and Otto, we should talk. I have some ideas. But nonetheless, look, I have some business to take care of, and I don't think that you would be... Otto, you might be all right here for this, but I've got my son and the rest of the lords. My son is running them around a little bit to get them a little, disoriented and pliable for what's about to come next. I don't think you all need to be here. Tilly?
Oh, of course, we'll be on our way, but as you can probably tell from the frost, this is a sign of a Pontus event occurring. But I do have something that should be able to protect at least a few of us. Just give me a second. And he's going to ruffle through his... pockets and then pull out 2 balls, shake them both, and then pocket the other one
And
place it in his hand.
And he goes, "Oh, thank you." And he sort of looks around as snow begins to fall in the middle of midsummer as he's holding this ball, this sort of metallic ball. And he's just holding it like, I mean, he has known you since he was born. He has worked with you all his life, and you wouldn't betray him. He's blackmailing you, so you wouldn't betray him at all. And you seem quite trustworthy. And he's holding this, and he kind of steps over to Otto, and he sort of like gives you a good manly punch in the shoulder. He goes, You all right to stay, I think. I mean, I don't think it'd be too bad if there was just a slight adjustment. And he goes, pointing to Nell, what do you... well, ladies, he says to Tilly and Nell, this is strictly a gents-only affair, and I'm so sorry that you've been transported here against your will through some sort of Pontus event, but really, you probably should not stay. Here's my thought. My companions will be arriving shortly. When they arrive, we were able to find, well, 1 horse. My son has it. I will lend my horse to you both so you could ride together out of here. Does that work?
Oh, chivalrous.
Do you want me to help you with that creature? It seems to be like wrestling a lot. The what's the ceremonial creature? I could take that off of your hand, and so you can have.
Well.
That'd actually be
things
best. Yes.
will ruin an
the thing you're
outfit.
holding.
Yeah.
The thing you're holding can only protect 1 living creature, and obviously.
Oh, I see. And he just moves. He just moves the fox over to Otto. Otto, Mr. Ward, if you would place that fox upon the table, there's sort of, I think my lovely wife. You look so much like her. I think that she, Lady Pinkerton, and when he says that, it's not like friendly. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not like a hubba hubba.
Yeah.
It's like I think she got servants to put out food and whatnot. Could you just remove that food? It's not going to be necessary. We want the fox on that table.
I'd like to do an attack, which I can only do now. Because he doesn't know what he's doing, but he's acting against what he's supposed to be doing right now, and he got tricked into doing it, which means I can use this move. I would like to weaken his purpose.
Oh, you want to take all that purpose and ether so he cannot defend himself if something
That's
bad
right.
happens about right now.
That is correct.
Is that correct?
Yeah, that'd be
Yes.
great. That'd be great.
I feel like that's not fair, but go ahead.
Okay. Well, life isn't fair. Okay.
Life is unfair. That is true. That is true.
Nothing he has done is fair, so he can have his just desserts. So that means that I can spend a point of ether and make a subtle attack against them using Presence and Mysteries. Can I use 2 points of ether and do this twice?
You can do 1, and then we'll have to go around.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
Sounds
It'll be
fair.
subtle.
Okay. So I am doing Presence and Mysteries. Okay, which for me is, I'm pretty sure it's 3 and 4. So 7.
Okay.
So I'm going to draw
I'm worried about this because I liked having ether. I like it. Can I get to,
plus 2.
Okay.
That is 9.
And does he get a defense, or is it against his social defense?
It's let me just check
They check.
because I think he gets to pull something. Let me just double check.
I have to know if it's a pull, if it's just a static.
a difficulty equal to the target's focus plus will.
Good. That's a 6.
So that means,
You had a 9, is that right?
yeah, 3. I beat him by 3, which means,
He drains, right? 1?
yep, I drain 1 point.
You slowly drain a point from him as he's like holding this sort of brass ball as Otto is taking this fox, which is bound and alive and quite large. And I'm just going to note, this means that how people can use ether to redraw or purpose to not take a wound. he just lost, some of his purpose. So he's going to be less able to get away from your sketchinesses.
And then I just had another question for clarification. Sorry to be annoying, but this is so
It's
important.
not annoying.
He's mortal, so
Yes,
he
he is.
can't see through my glamour spell, but they can. The other Fae can, right?
They can automatically, but he has a chance to roll for it.
Right, so he
draw
has a
for it.
chance. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I was just
Yeah.
curious, like, if I happened to make a second fox appear, they could let the real one go, so they'd see it. They'd see that I was doing it. Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
And
Okay.
so he's like, but actually none of them are full Fae creatures, so they might not see it.
Okay, all right.
Because y'all are, changelings. And so he's holding this brass ball, which is going to protect only one living creature, which would be him. And he goes, so what do you think this Pontus event, do you think it'll be long? Because we have important things to do. And he pulls out a pocket watch. It's exactly midnight, and we have
Yes,
things
hold
to
on,
do.
hold on. We can get that started soon. It's going to pull out the remote control, and I'm going
Good.
to activate this thing. And
Describe how it unfurls itself like a little pill bug.
yeah, so it's like you said, it's like a little pill bug. You kind of see it kind of like vibrates a little bit as the engines and the the battery inside starts to whir, and then it kind of unfurls.
Ooh.
You see the eyes first. The little glowing eyes are made of like probably rubies, and they glow, and then the little legs pop out. And I have to roll, because this is a dangerous use.
It
I have
is.
to roll to make sure it doesn't explode on him. So this might be a situation where I'm happy if I fail. If I don't, I still have something, a backup. But
Oh God, what if it's doom?
Well, this will protect me. Oh.
okay,
Oh.
one. I can't remember, what was it to use?
It was reason engineering, I believe.
Yes, that's it. Reason engineering. That's a 7.
He goes, oh.
So it doesn't explode.
Nope. He goes, and he's holding it like, well, that's interesting, but it looks a little strange and perhaps a little threatening. But he goes, but he sort of feels like, I've got, and he sort of like puts it up on his shoulder, like, so that's nice. And with it like sitting on his shoulder, he goes, you, he says, no hard feelings to Buttercup, but presumably you have a much nicer life where you're at. Being reunited with your home.
What is this? Do I know what this pill bug is gonna do?
It is a strange mechanical creature.
Okay.
I will note.
You did see
I
one
saw
very
his
similar like
following
it.
creatures.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was speaking to us, so it's
Yes.
Kalechi's, but I don't. Yeah,
I don't know
think-
what it does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I will say this. There is no technology like this where you're from,
Right.
where you've lived, at all. Even if people are taken, things like that are not allowed. Are not allowed in the borderland kingdom of the king and queen of Fae. And this is not a thing that they don't have technology there, right? Because we have technology now, and they steal people from now. But when they go there, if they have technology, that
They don't
technology
have it with them. Right.
it is not allowed.
Okay.
It is not allowed. And so he's like, well, thank you. We'll have to make sure that this thing goes away before he comes, because he can't be, You don't need to worry about that. That's not a thing that you need to worry about. And he just sort of gives a wink to Otto, like, we understand. Mm-hmm. And pardon my manners. And he walks over to Nell, and he sort of bows, and he puts out his hand.
I'm going to curtsy and then put my hand in his.
And he kisses your hand. He seems to be in a really good mood. And your manners are perfect, and you've got everything under control, and you just don't seem threatening or hostile, and he's feeling very comforted by your presence. And he looks to Till, and he walks over, and he sort of gives a slight bow, and he sort of puts out his hand. My lady.
For once in my life, I am the perfect lady. And I absolutely curtsy. I do everything right that I'm supposed to do. And I don't take my eyes off of him. And I believe it's not. Which one is it?
This is
Fletchy. That's on
This
his
is
shoulder.
Moonin.
This is Moonin.
Okay. And I don't.
M for murder.
Yeah. M for. That's right. That's how I remember. M for murder. Yep.
And he
I
kisses your
just
hand.
I glance at Moonin when he kisses my hand, and then I kind of just smile. And I'm smiling politely to him, so he thinks, but really I'm hopefully he is going to die in this moment.
And he has a pack of 7 hounds, hunting hounds, which are clearly meant to rip things apart, but he is not stressed out right now. You've all pulled very well, and so his dogs are not stressed out right now.
Perfect. Am I able to take another moment of purpose now during my curtsy?
Yes,
I
you
do
may.
that then.
Please. He's a 6. This is six. If you roll really well, he drains more.
Oh god, I have to reroll. I rolled a -5, and that means I'm completely out of ether if I reroll, and I cannot help you.
Excellent.
All right.
You'll be completely out of ether, which I'm very excited about. Because
Oh
things are happening.
wow! It's the same card.
Oh my.
And but you give nothing away. And he smiles and he kisses your hand and he says, it's too bad about your parentage, but some things can't be helped.
No, they can't.
I, respect how you seem to be making good steps forward. You keep that up and he gets an idea. An amazing idea. You can tell by the look in his eyes that he just had the perfect idea. I wonder, perhaps you could marry my son. He thinks about it. He goes,
The moment he says that, I'm going to try and activate the. I'm trying to activate
As I'm cursing and saying, "You honor me too much, my lord."
I hope those are the last
one.
words he ever says.
Yeah.
Oh god, this is a nice one. So to activate this is Grace and Engineering. Grace is that's not much. I'm gonna
deal some
I'm gonna
cards.
use Ether. I'm gonna use Ether to reroll.
Can I also help him?
Can I also help him?
not yet. This is this one, and then I'm going to have to go and give some cards.
Holy shit!
That's why he believes in the clockwork.
I just know the clockwork.
Why is it
I
always
just know the clockwork.
Literally? Oh my god.
This is my fourth. This is my fourth
I'm
fate in the
actually
game.
dizzy.
Boy.
So,
Clutchy!
so you may place an outcome on.
This is great.
Can the outcome be dead, M for murder?
No, but you can just put a wound on him just like that, and then he will start, dying of poison. Would you like to give him a wound?
Yeah, I wanna speed up this poison. So I'm gonna give him a wound. So I think you kind of see. Again, I think this is the most emotional collection has ever been, like this whole, 10, 20 minutes. And I think you kind of see his eye twitch at the mention of Tilly marrying Natty.
Because Natty's the worst. I mean,
Yeah. So he immediately just pulls out the remote and just slams the button. Now, this is the most careless he's ever treated one of his inventions, but slams the button and you just see Moonin and eyes again glow a bit brighter, and the little pincers bites into the neck of Bainbridge and pump a poison into him.
So I'm going to take a wound, which reduces my cards already, and he has another just sort of ongoing wound right there, so that's really good. I've given you all cards because we are now in a conflict at this point in time as that is happening. And this is what's going on. We're in a conflict. And you please discard your lowest card. Oh, wait, I need to recall all those cards. Wait. I have to recall everything.
Because we got to shuffle.
Because we have to shuffle, because you might also have...
Yeah, that's true.
Right, because...
I can't. I'm so shook right now. I cannot believe you drew another fake card.
This is just what that is, right?
I feel so badly for the podcast listeners because they all heard us scream for like 30 seconds and we're like, is it a fate or is it doom? What is it?
Podcast, look, what we know is that the clockwork loves Kalechi.
Dude.
Yep.
That's what we know.
I cannot.
I would also like to point out that the other time the Doom card was pulled by Tilly was when she was trying to actively turn away from
Yes.
The clockwork.
Yes.
Holy shit, man.
Yes.
Oof. I just have to aggressively eat some food.
Please do. Please discard your lowest card.
Okay.
Did Kalechi create the clockwork? Is that why he knows everything about it?
No, but he's into it. You know what I mean? Like he's
just very into it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to lose one of my cards because he's wounded now, and that's bad for him. Okay.
How do I know which set is mine?
Oh wait, you know what? I have to get rid of these cards.
Above your little icon at the bottom.
It's true. I actually have to redeal. I'm sorry. I have to redeal.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, dang it.
No, I have to because the what do you call it?
Yeah.
Yes, you know what I'm talking about.
All the other event cards.
Yes, it wasn't there. So as you are, as this little clockwork creature bites into his neck, and he goes, and you can see black, like his veins turn black as this poison starts to sort of work its way into his bloodstream. Here you go. There you go. Here's some cards for you. I thought you might like them. And he looks shocked because he was not prepared.
I got a fate card.
What?
Oh.
I'm not even kidding you. I have a fate card.
Mm-hmm. And I don't have a fate card.
Oh, you don't have a doom.
Maybe I do have a doom
Hold
card.
on.
Wait, I need to check it. Okay.
I'm sorry. What does this mean? Can someone walk me
Was I
through
not
it?
supposed to say that yet?
No, you totally
Okay.
can.
Yeah,
That's
because I
great.
thought it was like important
great.
that I drew that,
yeah.
so I don't know if I
yes.
need to redraw something else. But
No. I'm just going to note that I have a doom card for my initiative. In my initiative.
wait, what?
Yes.
What does that mean, though?
That means the Viscount cannot get rid of that card at all. So,
Holy shit!
as this poison is pumping into his veins, and his dogs begin to growl as he looks disturbed, and snow begins to fall harder, and you can hear the howling of the wind, and you can hear the voices of others, distant but not too far away. Lords on his way. And so, who would like to go first? We'll call out first +5s or a fate card.
I have a 5, but
The fate card,
fate card wins.
you can go now or later. It's up to you.
I can go later. I'll go later. And to be honest, I think that fits because I don't think my eyes would be off of him until he's dead.
And just a note about the fate card. If you want to interrupt somebody, you have to spend 2 cards to interrupt. Or just 1 fate card.
Just the 1 fate card. Okay, and we're supposed to discard our lowest number, right?
When you are yes, for that's for the startup, yes.
Okay.
5s.
I do have a 5, yes.
Would you like to act?
Yes, I would like to act.
What would you like to do?
Well, you see, the last time I saw Kalechi pull this maneuver, it took quite a long time for this
did.
person to die. And while I am perfectly fine with this gentleman taking as much time as he needs to perish, I'm going to pull out my knife and I'm going to rush him and stab it into his neck.
Stab it into his neck? That's fair.
Slit
That's
his
fair.
throat. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That's cool. You're going first. He's going to react. I'm going to note that anybody, because you're all in the same zone, anytime somebody acts in a zone, the same zone that you're in, you may react if you so choose.
Can the reaction be to try to stop her?
Well, it could be any reaction, really.
Oh, okay. Sorry, D&D, like you can only do
Yeah.
a certain number of things as
no.
a reaction, so I just want to make sure. Okay.
The only thing
No.
you can't do is maneuver. That's
Okay. Nell, the dogs. And that's all I try to stop her to. Yep.
He's going to react, by the way.
Yep. Okay.
I'm going to note that. Nell, you may.
Yeah.
Please, if you would.
Yes.
I need your grace plus melee,
Grace plus melee. Okay.
because I imagine you don't have fencing, and you're not really,
No.
You're not really.
Okay, it's a 3.
A 3. That does not beat his physical defense.
I would like to spend. Oh,
An ether?
we restocked our ether. Yes, at the beginning of this session,
You got a free one, yes.
a free one, but not
Yeah.
full stock. Okay. I'll spend an ether to roll a new
Redraw.
card.
Okay, I'm ready for it.
2. Oh, Jesus. Okay, that works.
That's a 6.
Okay. He has his guard up, and you reduce his guard by 1.
Wait, wasn't his guard already reduced by 1? No. Oh,
No, because that bypassed guard. The fate just bypasses guard.
okay.
And now his
No,
guard
I mean
is
my social attack earlier.
no, you
No,
took
that was
down
purpose. Okay.
his purpose,
Yep.
yeah.
Got it.
So
okay.
he does not have his weapon out, unfortunately,
Yeah.
because he was surprised. He would normally have 2 guard, but
Holy shit, okay.
But he only has 1 right now because he doesn't have his weapon out, and so his guard is now completely open, right? Like he has no guard at the moment.
Yeah.
Now he wants to react, but I imagine other people might also want to react. I would like to know who's wanting to react.
What can a reaction be? Like, could I use like a glamour as a reaction to this?
Sure, or you could stab him. Like you could do anything you want in a reaction.
I would like to place a glamour on Nell that she's not stabbing him. That it's someone else. That it's not Nell.
But that's after the fact. He saw her do
Okay.
it. Yeah.
I think she's thinking for the dogs.
Can I place a glamour where I can put a glamour on the dogs?
Your glamour is going to hit one person unless you have a big
Okay.
phantasm. Yeah.
Can I create a second Nell as a glamour?
Yes.
I'd like to create a second Nell, like brandishing the
Yes.
knife.
Yes.
As a glamour.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
That you can do. Please do.
Okay.
Yes. And
So-
for your reaction, please get rid of one of your initiative cards. I would say probably your lowest.
Okay. And then
Because every action is a card, and so when you're out of cards in your hand, then you're done with your actions.
so for my glamour, I have 2. It looks like one's a hex and one's a glamour. Subtly test presence. Is that the one that would make him see another Nell? Okay.
And Hex makes him redraw and then take the worst card.
So
if he-
presence and guile to make an opponent see a simple illusion. So I just draw for this.
Yes, please.
Okay.
And your Hex will allow you to 7 dogs in the area. Your Hex will allow you to make him redraw a card if he draws really well.
Okay.
And then put it on the green.
All right. That's a presence and guile. Mm-hmm. It's a 4.
And you have to beat his will plus composure, I believe.
I don't see what I have to complete.
I believe that is the case, which means I think that he's going to. I think he's going to see through that. Let me just check your glamour. Let me just check. 1. Glamour. It is. This is your phantasm. 232. I'm gonna just check because I like to Will composure. Difficulty equal to, no, his will plus composure is 5, so you miss it. He doesn't see it. It doesn't sort of comes through.
Okay.
Get rid of your lowest. You got rid of yours. Anyone else wanting to react? Anyone else wanting to react in this moment as Nell stabs him?
I will. If no one else will. Do we have to use a card to react?
Yes, you do.
And it can be any card. We can discard
Yes.
any one of our cards? Okay.
Yes, except for Fate or Doom. You can never discard your Fate or Doom.
Got it. Then I'm terrified these dogs are gonna attack Nell and potentially all of us. So I'd like to just let the fox go.
Oh. Okay.
Yep. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
He is crying about that, but I think Tilly would do it.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. That is, why don't you give me, Grace plus athletics? It's a difficulty of 0.
Okay.
You can, it's not difficult to actually, undo it. It's about how quickly it's going to go and how effective that's going to be. It is going to happen. I just want to know how well it's going to happen.
Okay.
Because it's not difficult to.
You said Grace and athletics, right?
Yeah.
This is not going to go well. Or it'll go just fucking fine.
Oh.
I drew a 3 and my Grace is 1 and I don't have any athletics, so 4.
4. Okay. That's good. So that's a remarkable success. So you were able to untie this fox very quickly. And when you do, though, you notice that the knots are very expertly done, and they seem to have been done in a kind of deliberate way. And the rope itself has vines interwoven in it, so it seems to you as if this is some kind of ritual sort of rope.
Honestly, that's good anyway. Stop the ritual from happening. And as I'm undoing the knots really quickly, I just say, fly, and I just let the fox go.
And the fox gives you a look. And the eyes look intelligent, as if the fox can think. It does not look exactly like just your average fox. The eyes are somewhat familiar. You don't know that you can't place it, but the eyes are somewhat human. The eyes of this fox, and the fox looks at you with thanks and bolts.
Okay.
Fast. And the hounds who are beginning to growl and get what's happening, the minute the fox bolts, their instincts take off. And they chase, these vicious dogs chase after that fox with the human eyes as they head off into the woods, barking and shouting as the fox is going to take them on a ride. Let's see what happens, but this is what foxes do. Does anyone else want to react?
Yes.
Oh. Go ahead. You go first. You can go first.
Okay. Oh, it's going to be real hard for Kelechi. So I know dangerous use is specifically for when I activate
Yes?
my machinery.
That's correct.
But if could I trigger it on purpose?
You could, but that will give a wound. It might be better for you to keep it alive and have it continue attacking.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's up to you. It's up to you. It's up to you.
I think, I'm just going to try and grapple. I'm not physically very strong, but I'm going to try and grapple Viscount.
Or you can trigger Moonin and have him, to chomp on him. It's up to you.
I'll do that instead. Yeah, I'll just have him bite again,
like-
so just like sink his fangs even deeper.
Because you're like you kind of step back a little bit, you know what I mean? And you're just like, I'm going to murder you at a distance, just a little.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Please do. It's a 5 for his.
Ooh, hell, fuck yeah.
Oh wait, how much did you get? This is like Grace Engineering, yeah?
Yes, to use it. Grace Engineering is a engineering is. Oh,
We're not
that's a
that.
10.
That's
I
a
mean, that's a
10.
9. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, that's a yeah. So he has his guard down, right? Because Nell dropped his guard, and his guard is not going to come up until we reset, which means you go right through his defenses. Just right through. And I'm going to ask you, a question, because this is really, it's up to you what you want to do there. I mean, I don't, I'm not judging you in any kind of way. You have choices here. Would you like to place a maneuver? What do you call it? A condition on him? Because you can.
Oh, yeah, so he already has one condition on him with the poison.
Yeah, so you can wound him again, or put any condition you like, any standard condition. You can just put another wound on him, though, if you like.
What other? Let me look at the conditions. Sorry, I did not think I'd. I honestly didn't think I'd actually hit.
And the wound just brings him closer to death and takes a card from me.
Can I do blinded?
Yes.
So the poison, what the poison originally does is kind of like
Yes.
burns you and corrodes you from the inside out.
Yes.
And you start seeing that he's bleeding from his ears and eyes,
Yes.
and you kind of see the eyes start to glaze over as he's blinded.
Yes.
And the whole time, Kalechi just kind of seems just staring
Yes.
and has his pocket watch out, counting down. You can hear in his, you can see him mouthing as he's counting down. For 3 minutes and 26
The
seconds.
fucking
his
macro
eyes
and micro of that clockwork, man. That's
Yeah.
so good.
Starts to bleed. His eyes start to bleed. And he is, just beginning to flail. I'm going to let... I know that Buttercup and Otto have not yet taken their reactions before he takes his. He's not doing so great, so I'm going to let...
I reacted. It's just Otto.
Yes, Otto.
I was. Well, I mean, if I'm still
And,
allowed to take it with this finishing. Is
Drac
there
and
like
Tilly,
something?
get rid of one of your cards, please. You're
Oh yeah, do that now.
I'm gonna go ahead and walk up,
and he's
wrapping my
reaching
hand
out
with.
to where you were because you're his friend.
Oh yes.
Oh, that hurt my
can't see.
feelings.
He doesn't like you.
I know, but it still hurt them.
He's reaching out to Otto, his friend.
I'll take his hand. He still has that silver blade in his hand, though, right?
Yes,
if
he
I
does.
wrap it. I'm gonna use my sleeve, take that out of his hand, and then just
Out of his belt.
out of his belt,
Yeah.
and whisper my parents' names into his ear as I press the silver blade across his neck.
That's my brother.
Please draw. That'll be Grace plus your choice of either melee or fencing.
Okay, so drawing.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So like, I got a 5 plus my
Oh, I see.
melee is 3.
Oh,
and
I
my
see.
grace is 2.
I see. Uh-huh.
Keep in
Yeah.
mind while I'm holding this blade, I do have my or well, -1 because I am wounded. So, so that will be 9.
Uh-huh.
Wait,
Interesting.
5. Wait, hold on, 5.
Yeah.
Hold on, I need math.
Yeah, you're right. No.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, 9.
9. 9 total?
9 total.
Okay. Uh-huh. So, that's gonna be a wound. And if you would, yeah. So, I'm gonna have to lose another card. Just right there. And you may place a condition on him.
Let's see what other conditions.
He's blinded. He's burning on the inside. He's not feeling well. He's feeling like you're not his friend.
Yeah. I guess.
As you stab him and he begins like he's...
Can you give emotional conditions?
Let me draw you. This sword, by the way, has two. You can either give him outmaneuvered, or dazed. Because those are the two for your sword.
Oh, so
I couldn't do bleeding.
You can wound him. You can make him bleeding, and give him a regular condition. So what you get to put a condition on it anyway because you drew well, and you can either wound him again, which is getting him closer to death, or put another condition on him.
And what's on the bottom of the cards is what it means.
Yes.
So like outmaneuvered opponents receive a +1 to all trait tests made against an outmaneuvered target.
Yes.
I'm just gonna give him another wound.
Yep.
And
Just to get him
also
closer.
you can outmaneuver or daze him. You can do both.
Yeah, you can give him a wound and then you give him one of these as well.
Yeah.
So dazed would be when
dazed.
choosing to react, they must turn over 2 initiative cards instead of 1.
That's not great for him, but I think it's good for you. That leaves him so that he may react. But I believe because I'm dazed, I have to spend 2. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Great. So I'm gonna spend this -3 and this -1. It's not great because my life is sad. He is going to go to reach for his weapon, which is not there. So he doesn't have a weapon. He cannot see. He is burning from the inside. He is bleeding on his neck, and he's hearing the names of your parents ringing in his ears. And he, in this midst of not good space for him, is going to, in the best he can, grab out for Tilly.
Oh, perfect, because I was about to use my fate card to interrupt him and take his
you
turn
can
away
if you
from him.
want.
Yeah, I
You
would
can
like
interrupt
to do
him
that.
right now as he's lunging for you.
Yep, I would like
As
to
he's
do that.
lunging.
I
He's
would like to do that.
He's going to. It's not very gentlemanly, but you may use that fate card to interrupt him. Oh yeah, because you can
Okay.
interrupt.
Right.
He comes at you.
Yeah, okay. I would like to. How can I hurt him? I don't
Ooh.
really have, I don't have a weapon or anything, but am I able to take anything from him? Am I able to.
You can probably grab a rock from the ground. Like you're in the middle
Oh,
of the
hell
forest.
yeah. Oh,
right?
straight
like
up.
you're in the
straight
middle of
up.
the forest. You can just like.
I am so emotions high and yep, I will just grab a rock from the ground
Yep.
and I'm gonna beat him over the head with it.
Yes, that'll be grace plus melee.
Okay.
As you just grab this stone and hit him in the head with it.
Okay. Oh boy.
Yeah, and he's he's almost out of cards. It's no good for him, y'all, because y'all have just like drained him of cards and drained him of purpose. He cannot do the things.
So I got a 0.
Oh, you got a 0 total?
Yes, because I drew -0
Yeah.
and you said it was grace and
Melee.
athletics, right? Or
Melee.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, which is 0. I don't. I'm.
You go to hit him, right? But he's able to sort of like get out of the way, and like you clip him on the side of the head, but it doesn't take him down. And as you're close, he puts his hands, or he tries to, around your neck.
Okay.
What is your grace plus athletics?
1, literally a 1.
1.
May I also, can I say anything to him?
Oh, yes. As his hands close around your neck, he is not able to do a wound on you just yet, but he
Okay.
can put, because you have your guard, although you
Yeah.
have to lose a guard, but
Yeah.
you're going to have to, at this point in time, he's going to put a condition on you.
Okay.
And we're going to find out what it is, because he's just strangling you.
Okay.
It's going to be overwhelmed.
Okay, cool. But since he is dazed. What does dazed do again?
That means that if he wants to act, he has to spend 2 cards rather than 1.
Right,
Which
okay,
means
so
he
I
just
can
goes through his cards so much
I
faster.
can still spend a card to socially attack him to bring his morale down now, or no?
No, because you already did your
Okay,
attack. By
okay,
the way, he
okay.
just had to use. I think he just had to use another card. That's the worst. He doesn't have much. He only has 1 card
Okay.
left, by the way.
Is it the Doom card? Because
It is.
Oh boy.
It is the Doom card. It is
Okay.
indeed the Doom card.
Can't get rid of that.
While he's fucking choking me out, I just look him in the eye and I actually start to
bleeding.
smile and I go, "It was me, by the way, not your wife."
Oh my gosh. So that was. Any more 5s? 4s? 3s?
3.
Go ahead, because he has 1 card and it's a Doom card, so you know he's not going anytime soon.
Okay, so I just discard a 3 and then I can attack him.
Yes, you can. And I'm going to note that he also can't do much because he's dazed, and he needs 2 cards to act, and he can't. 'cause
Right. So
he's
is he
dazed.
currently choking Tilly out?
Yes, he is.
Okay,
Yes,
and
he
are
is.
is he on the ground because he's fallen? Because he's been like
I'd
stabbed or
say
bitten,
we're
or
both
is
on
he-
our knees probably,
Yeah,
and he's
yes.
just like straight up choking
Yeah.
me out.
Okay, I would like to like kick him in the head.
Okay, would you please pull? He cannot react.
Oh, also, Nell, you have a 4, right? And you.
Yeah, I was really overwhelmed with the image
Oh,
of you saying
please.
that to him.
wanna go
while
first? Go
It was
first.
just very good. Yeah, could I? Sorry.
Yes, please do.
Please
do.
Take it away.
Yes, and also, what's very cool about this initiative system is that just because you have a 4 doesn't mean you have to go now. You can wait for somebody
Oh,
else to
okay.
go. Like, you can like move, like you're like, you can be like, no, I don't want to, I have a 4, but I don't want to go yet. Like, I want to wait until that person does something. So like, you have a lot of flexibility.
Yeah.
It's just that you don't know what my cards are. I might have cards that might go first, but you know that's not the case right now. You know he's in a
Yeah.
bad way is where he's at.
Yeah.
He's in a bad way. He's in a bad way.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Oh.
Whew, that's a good question. I mean, I think I would like to just come over and like wrap my tail around his
Yes.
neck and just start
Yes.
yanking him away from
Oh,
Tilly.
yeah.
Just like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That sounds to me like some grace and some melee is what that sounds like to me.
okay.
Yeah. Oh, he has no guard. You all get guard at the when we reset our cards. If the conflict goes to a second round, because like 1 round is when everybody uses all their cards, and at the end of when we get to the
okay.
second round, then you all get 1 guard back. He currently has no guard though,
Okay.
and you will have more cards than he does.
So that's a 10.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So I would like to just stomp forward, whip around, tail around his neck, and then I'm just yanking him.
Pull a card.
Okay.
Would you get undone?
I'm done.
You may put that condition on him just for free if you like, which
I would
is
love to do that.
treat this condition as an additional successful attack. Okay, sure.
So that's 2 wounds?
Yes.
Oh!
How many?
Yes. So, this is. And also, I'm going to ask you, would you like to put a wound on him?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I would like you to tell me, as he's undone, which means you get a second attack on him. If, I'm going to just sort of say, you need to take basically 5 wounds to kill someone,
Okay.
or the equivalent, so each wound is -2 to your to all of your life. So either, and each wound is -2, so that's 5 wounds is -10, so that's what you need, -10. And you've all collectively only done 4, which is -8, except the poison is also a minus. It's an additional minus. So I want to ask you how you kill him. Now.
I wrap my tail around his neck, the prehensile tail that was attached to my body through his
funding.
efforts, his funding.
And he is strangling Tilly right now.
He is strangling Tilly, and I see Tilly on the ground, and I just cannot have it. And I don't really like to kill people, but I break his fucking neck.
Everyone take a corruption.
Oh boy.
Nope.
His neck snaps. It's so easy. And he falls to the ground. His hand slipping off of Tilly's neck. Lifeless. And the ground shakes. By the way, just note there's that doom card that I'm just waiting to activate. Just note it. The ground shakes as if it was like a slight earthquake, and the trees shudder. And he sputters. He's dead. He sputters. And even though he's dead, he goes as he expels a breath. That smells of fur. And it wafts. And it snows. And then it rains. And his body shudders. That last rack. And lays still. I'm going to recall all those cards because we are out of this conflict.
I can't believe that conflict had a fate and a doom in it. I cannot.
And that's not good for him, but it's...
So, when I get my corruption, because I'm a Nephilim, I appear more demonic. So, the moment...
But I will note that your particular family of Nephilim are eagle, eagle sorts of characteristics. So think sort of like demonic eagle.
Yeah.
So describe it.
Yeah, so he kind of again bulks up even more, grows a few inches taller. I think to this point, he's kind of like, everything he's wearing is way too uncomfortable. Some buttons probably like pop undone. His horns that were like initially like pretty short but still quite pointed grow even longer, and you see tufts of like black feathers appear, like poke out from his shirt. And he kind of just sighs and probably even takes off his... I'm taking off because it fucking hurts my head, but he takes off his goggles because there are too tight for his head at this point as well.
Yes.
And he just... I'm sorry about my appearance.
It's like coughing into the ground. Like
He's gonna rush over to Tilly and just help her up. Are you okay?
holy shit. Yeah, I'm okay. What happened to your horns?
They get like this sometimes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Is
I just
everyone all
kinda
right?
Lean up against him a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, I'm okay. Are you okay? Are you okay? Is everybody okay?
Yeah.
I spit
Otto's
on,
just
I spit on
staring at Buttercup right now.
She's definitely staring back. Now that you're not stepping away from her and you're like actually making eye contact, and y'all know that she's real.
Yeah.
Drop the sword and slowly reach out to
She reaches back
Buttercup?
towards you.
I'm just gonna, as soon as that happens and we touch fingers, I'm gonna just grab you and you're real. You're not dead.
I'm not dead. I've been watching you. I've been watching you from the other side. I'm not dead. It's nice to touch you, not through the veil, Otto. I missed you.
I missed you too.
You're not haunted, by the way.
Yeah, I know now. I'm sorry. I didn't know. I just thought, because I'm sorry, our parents.
I mean, it was a mean way, but it was a nice way you honored them.
I mean, it's true, we won't get them back, but I got you. And
I hope.
at all.
Is there something else we need to do?
Yeah, yes. Sorry to break the moment, but I'm pretty sure we're strapped for time, and that fox is on the run, and if we do our part, then maybe the rest of it, the book, and then I'll grab the book that I was supposed to read from.
Buttercup is just glued to Otto's side from now on, I think. And they're just grasping her hand.
Yeah.
Are we going through with the plan? Riding my motorbike through the woods?
Yeah, yes. I think you take your
Except
bike.
that it's so late. You're here. You don't have the bike with you. That won't get the gate open. You've got to find some other way because it is the moment.
Yeah.
I have a question. The gate is the gazebo. Sorry, this is
Yes.
not me in character,
Yeah.
because I don't know if I saw that vision with everyone else.
You did.
Or
Yeah.
okay,
Yes.
okay.
There was all sort of shared, because you're all intertwined with each other. And so all of
Yeah.
you sort of shared those memories in this moment. And the gazebo is the gate.
So in that case,
As it
I don't
turns
think we have
out.
time to go back for your bike. I think you have to open it a different way. But we have Buttercup here. That's 2 doors. Maybe all 3 of you can open it, and I read, and you carry it through, Nell.
All right. Just tell me
They'll-
what to do.
Would
I mean, what if we both hold hands, touch the gazebo, and you guys hold on to us? Maybe. I don't quite know how this works. Every time we touch, we flip. But
You
if
know what's
we're
weird though? I bet the Viscount would know how to open that gate.
Well,
Too bad you killed him.
could everyone turn away for 10 minutes?
is now really the time? 10 minutes? That's
It's-
a long time.
What are you doing?
We don't mind the horns. You don't have to,
No, I
That's
like
not-
your feathers.
They're kind of itchy, I will be honest, but I can get the memories of the Viscount.
What?
A crack opens in the ground as it is clear that Pontus is rising.
I have to
Do
be
we
quick.
have that much time? I know a little bit about ritual stuff. I can help you. I know that'll shorten the time. If
Trust
you'll
me,
let me.
it won't. And he's going to go right to the Viscount, grab his arm, and bite into it.
Ew.
And I think when you see him bite, and you realize his teeth are much more razor-like, and he just tears into the Viscount's arm and just starts drinking the blood.
And eating the flesh of the
I know this
Viscount.
seems weird, but this feels like something Buttercup might be used to.
You don't have a lot of Nephilim where you're from, but your world is not.
I just feel like torture is right up there on daily activity. That
Yeah, there is a lot of torture. It's fine. And as you consume the Viscount's flesh, it becomes a part of you. And because you are Nephilim, one of the fallen angels, by consuming the flesh of those who died, you have a choice. You may gain a skill or you may gain knowledge. When you taste the Viscount's blood and eat his sinews, do you want to see his vision and know his knowledge, or do you want one of his skills?
I think what we need right now is knowledge. So, yeah, I'll go with knowledge.
Flesh muscles,
Oh.
skin. And then visions. It's like you're sifting through his mind and you see so much. You see him as a child. You see him being told of his responsibilities to the family and that he must make sure the family continues to prosper. As a small child, he must always do these things. He must complete the ritual. Every year, the ritual. And you start hearing him learn about words of power, and you can hear some of these ancient words in the tongues of angels. That, if you wanted, you could maybe give those words to Tilly, but it would be... What he does every year is he ritually slaughters a fox, giving power to the King of the Winter. And in return, the King of the Winter will enter his body and give him knowledge and power and keep the estates and the grounds well and rich. Every year he must sacrifice, and he gets in return power. And you know how he brings the King of the Fae into his body. And you could tell Tilly how to bring the Queen of Fae into her body. But when you bring someone into your body, you don't necessarily control them. They might control you if your will isn't stronger than theirs. But there's something else. You get an insight to the Fae folk. They are not what you thought they were. Not at all, actually. They do not exist like mortals exist. Mortals, the mortal realm is fixed. It's made of trees and earth and rock, and you can touch it, and it's real. But the Fae folk, the wildlings, they are from the borderlands, a place outside of the clockwork. They do not exist until we dream them, and they feed on our dreams. They are the manifestations of... They are the Pontus or the clockwork, creating beings from our own imagination. And they exist in the borderlands as we imagine them to be the ones they've stolen. They cannot survive in any kind of coherent form unless they steal people. And the people they steal shape who they are. So they only steal people who keep with their imagination. And that means if Tilly were to become the Queen of Fae, she would become the Queen of Fae. She would not be able to change things because the people who believe in her to be the way that she is. Everyone believes that the Fae steal children, and so they do.
Oh my god!
So, you can make her the Queen of the Fae. You could give her the tools to enable her to do that. But she will then become what everyone here imagines them to be. From every Shakespeare play you've read, every folk tale that you've told over and over and over again, you will recreate her. And she will become who she is in all of our minds. Can she change the system? Probably not. Because she will become the system. But
Fuck.
you can tell her how to do it.
I want to ask a few questions before I make my decision.
Please.
Because I did not see that coming. One, if we kill the Queen of the Fae, what happens? Like, because I know that her being here is unraveling the clockwork. So if we killed her, would that fix anything, or what would happen there?
Well, that's a very good question. The person whose flesh you've eaten does not know all of the details, though. Do you ask this question out loud?
Yes.
Are you musing?
Yeah, I'll ask this out loud.
Kalechi is thinking, right? Ask this: if she's here, things are unraveling. If we kill her, what will that mean?
Kill my mother.
Why are we going to kill the queen? Aren't we supposed to be helping her?
Would I know this about the Fae?
You would.
Nothing
Because
will
you live
change.
there. Well, jein. Yes and no, as they say in German. She's already been taken out of her domain.
Because the domain is like currently changing, right? Because she's not there.
Yes. The domain, her domain, is changing. Because she's not there, it is collapsing and deteriorating. And the domain needs a queen back, or it will become unstable. Because in the borderlands, nothing is stable unless they've stolen humans. It's the force of will of the person who becomes the domain lord. If you have a force of will and you live in the borderlands, you can become the king or queen or regent of a domain and create that domain as your own will. You have all of this power, but you only have the power as long as people believe in you. That's why you steal them. And right now, that domain has been 6 months without a regent, and the domain is falling apart. If you kill her, she will not be able to return, and that domain will continue to decay, and that decay is bleeding over into this space.
And I know that our world, this realm is in danger if she doesn't return.
That is true. Or someone does not take over that space, because we have imaginations but no figure.
Okay, so I mean, if we don't send her back, something has to go back. Someone has to go back.
I will also note, Buttercup.
One more question. Oh, okay.
Buttercup, the King of Winter has captured most of the Queen of Summer's followers, her mortals. With this knowledge that you are who your followers think you to be, that explains why Oberon in the last 6 months has become very, very erratic. Because his followers all believed him to be one thing. He's now absorbed her followers who believe something else. And so now he is becoming incoherent. And things are falling apart. Because not only do you not have them both there, but now he's taken on followers who believe something different than his. And he's becoming less coherent. As long as he has her followers and her domain is empty, it's going to bleed. They're going to continue to become unstable. And since so many people believe that our world is dependent on their harmony, our world will continue to become unstable and become worse and worse and worse.
And they would take anyone as their queen because it's just whoever they imagine. Like, it's just a figure in a throne.
Tricky. You need it to be believable, right? You need it to be somebody that people would believe. If they believe this person can be the new Queen of Fae, then that person can be the new Queen of Fae. It has to be somebody that the dreamers would believe.
But so far, the only thing that you've said out loud, either of you, specifically Kalechi with this knowledge, is just what if we kill her, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And Buttercup, that is what you know, because you know that the Borderlands have no... I mean, like, they feel solid. Like, you walk on ground, you walk on earth, but anytime the person who's in charge of that domain imagines that they can change it, You can go from trees to palm trees if you want. You can, because it is all the manifestation of will that is powered by our dreams.
You can't kill her. If somebody's not there, then their world will take over our world, and everything will be unsettled, and it'll be... We can't. Somebody has to go. Somebody has to take the throne.
My second question is, what would happen, just theoretically,
Scientist?
if Tilly wasn't the one to say the words of power, and it was just theoretically Kelechi instead? How would that work?
If you brought her into you,
Yes.
well, my friend, you know, that's an interesting thing. The Viscount Bainbridge has read a lot, has studied a lot about mythology. He studied the mysteries of the wildlings. He knows things like Fey folk. The Fey folk are wildlings who come to our world. And when the Fey folk come to our world, they become fixed. Right? They cannot change their form anymore. They are what they have come into this world as. And so perhaps they are the Loch Ness Monster, because people believe in the Loch Ness Monster, and then that wildling comes in through and they are become fixed as that. But then they have a fixed identity that cannot be changed. Some want that, some don't. But there is whispers, rumors, that the Borderlands were created by the Nephilim, the Grigori, the fallen angels. Not the Nephilim, but the fallen angels themselves. And it is rumored and thought that Grigori or Nephilim could be quite powerful in that space. Their will. Maybe if you spoke those words and drew the queen into yourself, your Nephilim lineage might make it believable enough with some symbolic sacrifice. You might be able to do it.
Would I lose myself to... So would I lose... fuck.
You might.
I think at this point, he's probably been sitting there with, I don't know, Bainbridge's arm in his mouth for the past 10 minutes, I don't know. But kind of sits up and wipes the blood away, tries to fix himself up as best he can, and...
Oh, by the way, stabbing the fox is enough to gain the attention of Oberon, who would then open the door. All you really need to do is get his attention to get him to open the door. Traditionally, they've done it through this fox sacrifice. Queen Mab wanted to do it by being super offensive, making him irritated that his space was defiled with technology, which is not how people imagine the Fae working, especially him. So really what you need to do is either get him to open the door, but Otto says that maybe Buttercup and he could do it, because they are the other sides of the door. Bainbridge doesn't know anything about that, though.
Why don't you let us try to open the door before you do anything, Kelechi?
Yeah, and I mean, we could potentially just do what she wanted, put her back, and write everything. You know, once she's back, then, you know, the world won't fall apart, and we can worry about what comes next then, right?
You know how you do that ritual? You know what you would do to make it believable? Whoever did it, you would chop off your hand, and you would attach the hand that's holding the gem. And that would be believable. It'd be a ritual. It would take wounding and sacrifice.
But just to be clear, that's only if I wanted to take over. Or anyone wanted to take over the queen's spot. We could alternatively just do what she asked us to do and chuck her fucking soul across the border once we open the gate, right? Just to be clear.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, if you wanted, do you know how much power you'd have if you did that? You'd be in charge of an entire domain in the Borderlands. Maybe you could exert your will, if your will was strong enough, to maybe slowly over hundreds of years get people to believe slightly different things about the Fae. It might take a long time.
But I can do that from here.
Maybe. But don't you want ultimate power?
I've never wanted that, actually. So you can't tempt me with that.
Kalechi?
You might be able to
I have
tempt
no
him, though.
interest. I honestly have no interest in ultimate power.
Interesting. Nell,
Yeah.
you said you wanted freedom. Isn't that right? Ultimate freedom?
Ultimate freedom, yes.
You can see the ritual in your mind. All of you are so connected. Do you know, could you imagine being able to change the world? Your world. You create any world you want. And if you wanted to fly, you could fly. If you wanted your house to look like this, it could. You could change anything and anyone in your domain to be whatever you wanted. No one could control you. Well, except the dreamers, I suppose, but that's different. You would have whatever you wanted. And you have the hand, and it is yours right now, after all.
If
Through this
we're-
experience.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. No.
Through this experience, it has made me reevaluate what my definition of freedom is. And perhaps that I'm a little freer than I originally thought.
I
If
see.
we're all connected and we're aware of this sort of weird temptation and this desire, are we aware of it in
feel
each
it.
other? Okay.
No, you just feel it. By the way, twins, I just want to
Hi.
I just want to bring up something. You know, you two want to stay together, right? Well, but you can't because there has to be an exchange. Those are the rules. You
Oh.
can't both. Now,
Mab.
maybe if one of you took the hand, you could maybe break that contract. You could maybe change those rules. I mean, right now it doesn't look like you can. Somebody has to go back. Somebody has to sacrifice themselves unless, I mean, if one of you became the Queen of Summer, the Regent of Summer, well, maybe you could change that. I mean, you want to stay together, I imagine. And, well, I mean, you are also both changelings. That's believable. You have changeling blood. And you know, Buttercup, Oberon has been so awful. If you became the queen, you would rival him. You could perhaps defeat him. They've had so much conflict, but you, I bet, are better than Mab. I bet you could beat him. You could certainly make his life miserable forever.
I have the reputation unwilling to serve.
Yes, and if you were queen, you would never have to serve, would you?
And I also have the affinity sworn to serve the king. So I feel like those might make my brain be like, I can't be the queen. And I also don't want to be back there.
Otto.
Oh no. I have the knowledge to redo contracts, don't
You do?
I?
Could you imagine what you could do if you were the regent? You could be the king of summer. You could maybe change all sorts of things. Couldn't you? I bet you could.
I'm not gonna lie. Otto's very vulnerable right now.
I know you're vulnerable. That's why I'm here close to the mic.
Okay, but I feel like my affinity to protect my twin, which is my strongest affinity, has me like deeply putting my fingernails into Otto's hand, and I'm like, no. Not like this. It wouldn't be freedom. We wouldn't be together. You wouldn't be yourself, Otto.
Do you need to be yourself? I know that you have fought so hard to be Otto, to be who you are. I know you have. But, you could give it all up, couldn't you? To save your sister? Maybe to save Tilly, Nell, Kalechi, the world? All it would take is for to give up who you are and become someone else. And you could do that.
So easy.
It would be easy to just give up all you've worked for. But you'd gain a lot more.
From what I saw, what I saw through Bainbridge's eyes, the chances are of us being able to overcome whatever takes over our body is slim. Close to none.
Wait, back up. Something's gonna take over our body? What?
Yes.
What do you mean?
If you speak
we're
the
reading
words,
something and...
If you speak the words, your mother will inhabit whoever is speaking them and take over.
She didn't say that was gonna happen, did she? She didn't say that.
No, but that's what will happen.
If you take her inside you, if you want to become the regent, I'll just note that, if you're good enough, if your will is strong enough, then she wouldn't be able to take over. I mean, sure, she'd be inside of your body and you can't make her leave, and she'll tempt you forever. But if your will is strong enough, I'm sure she couldn't overtake you. How good are you? I bet you're all good.
Could we hold? Let me try something at the very least.
Wait. She just said to take her across the threshold. We don't have to summon her into anyone. She didn't say that would happen. I don't think we have to do that, do we?
But you could.
Pletchy?
Okay, now I'm just confused out of character.
Okay.
She wanted you to take her hand across the threshold so that she could re-manifest as herself.
So
and
she can be the queen.
So she can be the queen.
If we want to take over her spot, then we manifest her into our body, but we don't have to do that.
It's up to you.
No. Okay.
It's if you want her to be in charge, or if you want one of you who are much nicer and much better people and much more
I mean, it'll still be her.
Well,
I mean, okay, that makes it way easier. Yeah, let's fucking do it.
I mean, but the thing is, if you have a strong enough will, you might be able to make it so that she cannot possess you, and then you stay in control.
How would we even know how strong our will was?
I mean, the other thing that we're not talking about also is, if she... Oh, wait, Kletchy hasn't said any of this out loud, right? All you said was, what if we killed her, right?
Yeah.
No, I also said about taking over the body as well. And then,
okay.
I guess I undid that.
Okay,
Now
so
that
she would take
actually
over the
sounds going.
body.
Okay.
Well, she'd
think about it.
inhabit the body.
Nope.
Think about it. One of us
wanna be
could
me.
go over there and try to rule, but we can do that from here. We can do that from here. We just need to tell stories. We need to change who she is.
I can write papers. It seems at the very least here I've become a bit more notable. I could use that to my advantage.
The
We're
ground
stronger
shakes
together.
again.
Look, we're stronger together as a family. No
is
one
there
should
any
be
way
doing
for me
this
to
alone.
stay on this side, or am one of us has to go back no matter what?
Something has to go back in exchange for you, and why not let it be my mother?
Because she's not supposed to be here in the first place.
Yeah, your mom's supposed to be there. I don't count.
Well, who says there has to be an equal exchange anyway?
I think it's King Oberon.
Yeah, but it's just because we believe it, right?
I don't believe it.
Wait. Okay, so we just have to open up the gate somehow. Open up the gate. And
Well, you two can open the
Oberon-
gate, right? You're the door.
yes, I guess. Like I'm.
Can't we just throw the
You
gem
can open
in?
up the. We can try.
We just-
Queen Mab said that my bike would be insults or offend Oberon. We don't have time to get my bike, but I still have Minion and Hugin. Would that be enough to insult Oberon and have him open up the portal?
Yeah, I don't see why not. And I mean, there's lots of ways we could
There are two of them.
Yeah, there are other ways that we could insult his pride or
I'll be
what else
honest. I
doesn't he
think me
like?
being on this side of the veil is insult enough.
Yeah, like that's a great point.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm so sorry.
sorry.
I'm very confused. What is
Tilly's
happening?
Tilly's going to kiss
All right.
Buttercup because she's the most chaotic person on this planet and thinks it would piss off Oberon so much
I'm
that I'm sorry. I'm doing it.
Are you kissing me in the threshold?
I'm
Will you at
definitely
least
gonna
carry
kiss
me
you on the-
there?
Yep. I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
I want to know about Hugin and Moonin.
Yes.
What are they doing?
I guess I'm just gonna have them like I'm gonna go to where I'm assuming we're in the gazebo, right? And this is where the ritual's meant to happen. So I'm gonna bring Hugin and Moonin into the I'd say sort of the threshold that Tilly and Buttercup are kissing in.
And he's got this beautiful
activate-
ritual table where the fox is supposed to go.
Yep. Well,
Yeah, I'm gonna sit
he's
there.
getting a fox. It's gonna be Miss Buttercup. It's okay.
yeah,
I
I'm
just
gonna
called you a
activate-
fox, Lexi. It's fine.
Ooh, you activate them? Do you activate them both?
Yes, I want to be as insulting as possible. I don't really understand why progress is insulting, but apparently it is to these creatures. So
Do you put them on the ritual table?
oh, absolutely.
Otto,
So we
what
get
do
to
you
say
do?
there's like 3.
I will go ahead and, you know what? I think I know something that might make them super mad. Well, I guess they're kissing and he's putting them on the stone. I will go ahead and prick my finger, both fingers, and put it on the rope. Prick my fingers. So they are kind of giving Oberon's blessing through me.
Nell,
An anointing.
yes.
you have the hand and you
I have the hand.
the gem.
Yeah.
They're going to try to open up this portal.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? And if you want, you can say, I'll just wait until it opens if you don't want to tell me. If you have like a when it opens action, you can just not tell me to surprise everybody. Or if you have one right now, you can tell me.
I think my action is to ask, what am I supposed to do? What do you want me to do? What am I doing?
Once Oberon opens the way through the veil, just I suppose
Am I
toss
just throwing
the
it in?
hand through.
Yeah.
Just chucking it in. All right,
Yeah,
that was
it
my
just
plan
has,
originally.
It just has to pass the threshold. So
Maybe grab the
I could
silver
run in.
sword.
Could I
Yeah.
run through?
I don't think you're
Bye.
allowed to go through, are you?
The door's going to be open.
Do you want to run through? There's no guarantee that it will stay open long enough for you to come back.
No, just
Oh,
throw
then
it
no,
through.
I don't. Yeah, I'll just throw it through. Okay. Yes, let's do that.
Okay, are we ready? Can I kiss you now? Sorry. I glance nervously maybe at Kalechi and then I just look back like trying to stay focused.
Kalechi's just fine. He doesn't even.
Yeah,
He
I
doesn't
know.
understand. It's like
He's like, this is logical, do the thing. And I'm just like, well, okay.
All right. Buttercup, you know that what attracts Oberon is passion, lust, depression, anger, jealousy. Those things attract him. You don't really know the queen very well, but your vibe from her followers that have been kidnapped is that she's into longing, homesickness, melancholy, loss. So that won't get him, but lust, intense love, depression, anger, jealousy, those feelings will attract him. So I'm going to ask you, how do you kiss her back?
Okay, well, hear me out here. I was stolen as a child. I don't think I've ever been kissed before.
This is only my second kiss.
So this is probably like you haven't been kissed before. I'm probably pretty excited about this. I'm wearing Tilly's shoes after all, you know? Our toes have touched.
I'm going to need pulls from each and every one of you, except for Nell. Your pull is going to come a little bit later. Hello, Carpe Diem. I'm going to need presence for all of our kissers. Absolutely. All 2 of them. And I'm going to need presence, and I feel like temptation will do for this one, because I feel like you're going all exciting.
I got a 6.
Tilly.
I'm sorry. We're doing presence and temptation.
How much
have a
heat can you
5.
generate? 5.
5.
Kalechi, I'm going to need from you definitely engineering or science. And for your aptitude, reason makes sense in some ways, but also you're being provocative. I could see will in engineering or reason engineering working.
For me, right? Okay.
Kalechi, yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Oh.
So reason and you say reason or will in engineering?
Depending on your
either or?
approach. You know?
What will be? We'll just be like sheer force of will, and reason to be like the logic behind it all.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with reason and engineering. So that's a 10.
Ooh. Otto.
Yes.
Will. Bureaucracy. You
And
are
then
trying to sign a new contract.
Yeah, that's gonna be a 3. That's gonna be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7
Okay.
total. That's with the minus from my wound.
It is
So 7 total.
passionate kiss, an intensely passionate kiss that is being amplified by Otto. And in this special ritual place, machine.
Because you said it was fun, but the wording was a little.
Yeah, the wording was like, your brother is making it. Okay, cool.
You know, just anointing. Brother's like, you go, wingman. But you know what they are. But in the holiest space, where for probably 1,000 years, a fox has been slaughtered in sacrifice, in this moment, machines, clockwork machines, are defiling this space. And the ground is cracking. And there's a smell in the air. And you hear a voice. It's the Count Bainbridge who stands up. His throat slit completely. And you hear a voice that is not his voice say, "Who defiles my gazebo?" And the body starts moving from where it was left, and it steps through into the gazebo, and everything shimmers. And where you are is unclear. The gazebo itself seems to be either here or there. The woods are unclear which woods they are. And there, before you, is this dead body with blood all around it, moving. And the voice says, "Who disturbs my ritual?"
Is the shimmer around us the veil, so the gate is open? No. Throw the hand. No, throw the hand.
I would like to take the hand in my tail. And then I will throw it in the direction that I need to throw it to make it go through.
Let's have a quick conversation, Nell.
Okay.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Are you sure you can just throw it? What if you need to carry it? The queen said carry through. That's what she said. What if you have to walk through? Do you really want to take the chance? It's so important.
Yeah, there's no guarantee that I can come back, though, right?
No, there isn't. But you know somebody needs to go back through. Do you want it to be your friends?
I'm gonna regret this decision. Nell thinks to herself as she begins walking.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm walking through.
I'm grabbing you. There's no way. There's no way that Buttercup's gonna let you walk through there after living there for her whole
You're
life.
in an
Throw it.
embrace.
Dang it!
Yeah.
Nell, you walk through.
Yeah, I'm walking through.
All right. You step through. With the hand, because you are the one who's carrying it.
Yeah,
Would you just draw one card for me?
absolutely.
Please.
I just want to see what it is.
Oh, that's not a good word.
Entrapped. Cool.
Yeah.
You step through with this hand, and the ruby begins to glow, and the hand twitches. And the hand begins to bleed, and blood pours from the hand, and then the blood becomes veins, and then sinews, and then bone, and then a shoulder. And within moments, the hand becomes Mab. And she stands on the other end. You are now in a place that is... At first it was unclear where you were. It was dark. It was strange. But as she stands there, flowers begin to bloom, and you seem to be in a beautiful green grove. And she stands there before you, and she looks back, and you can see your friends on the other end of the veil. And you can see Oberon on the other end of the veil. And she smiles and she says, "Well, thank you for releasing me and bring me home. I think if we can close the veil now, he will not be able to return." Ms. Harrington.
What about your... Yes.
There must always be an exchange. Why not let it be him? And then I may take his domain as well as my own.
Can I leave?
Of course. But let's trap him on that side.
See, I was told that that would be a bad situation.
Well, I'm stronger than he is. He clearly couldn't handle it.
I don't believe you. Listen, I don't doubt that you're not strong, but I'm sorry to say I'm not entirely sure I believe you can hold this entire place together on your own. No offense.
There must always be an exchange. Is it you?
I mean, does the person have to be living? Can Oberon
Yes.
return and then the Viscount's body can just be the exchange?
No, he does not have will, the Viscount's body. Disgusting.
What kind of exchange are we talking here? What is equal?
There are contracts. There are understandings, agreements. They must be negotiated. Unfortunately, some people are already pledged to him, although I would be quite happy if they were not.
Will Otto and Buttercup get to stay together?
I need someone of will in exchange. And you all in the gazebo can hear the hunters coming.
What about the Viscount's son?
The Viscount's son. The Viscount's son.
Yes, you're probably well acquainted.
If he were mine, yes. That would be delicious. I would love that. That would be perfect. I would like my daughter to return, though.
That's her choice.
It would be, yes. But the Viscount's son? Absolutely. Get your contract friend to trick him into agreeing to serve me, and it will be resolved.
How long do I have to make this decision?
But moments. And as this conversation is happening, the hunters emerge from the break, led by Lady Bainbridge and a bunch of noblemen. They come upon the gazebo looking for their father, and they see only this gazebo they see you all. They don't see Nell, but they see the gazebo, they see you all in it. They're not quite certain what is happening. They seem somewhat distant, as if they're being seen through a veil.
But Oberon is still here with us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I need to ask. I'm so sorry.
Please.
I need to just ask a couple of questions once.
I'm
more.
ready.
Okay. As much as Nell would know, because I absolutely do not want to meta, of course. Natty is generally an innocent in all of this, right? Like, do we know?
He is the son of Lord Bainbridge, and you know this family has been doing this ritual for probably 1,000 years, and that he will do this ritual
Yeah.
now that his father is dead.
And if I stay here, will I be a servant to the queen, the king, whoever is here?
To her.
To her. I will be a servant to her. There is no way that me staying here, pulling this ultimate sacrifice, leads to me not being a prisoner or a servant to...
It might be very pleasant, but she is the queen,
Yeah.
and there is a hierarchy.
Yeah.
She may be kind to you.
Yeah. I would love to be noble and self-sacrificing, but I don't think Nell would. I think Nell would send Natty in because to become a servant of this queen is absolutely the last thing she ever wants. She would do it. She would do it for Otto and Buttercup to stay together. But now that she knows that Natty is a possibility, then she's going to play that.
So we need, as Natty is standing there confused as to what's happening, he needs to be tricked.
Can Otto see me?
Yes.
I'm just going to look at Otto and I'm going to say, Natty. Or I don't know his name, right? Do I know his name?
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
Because you saw him at the party.
And then
Natty.
I know because he introduced. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just be like,
And
Okay,
he's
so
on
the
the
first thing
other.
is-
He's not in the gazebo. He's with the people who are going to do the ritual on the other side.
I'm gonna go ahead and yell as most convincing as I can. Natty, your father needs you.
And he sees his father sort of shimmering inside.
Question.
Yes.
We didn't hear anything the queen was saying.
You can
But we
hear
can
it
see her?
distant. It's distant as through a veil.
What are you doing?
I don't know. Nell said
Someone has
Natty,
to
so
go
I'm
in.
gonna.
We can't send him in.
And he begins to walk forward. Pull a card for me, Otto.
Ooh. So I got a -3. What is my bonuses for that?
You are using, what are you going to be using? Presence plus guile?
Presence plus guile, then that will be a plus. Well, actually, you know what? Can I re-roll just?
Yes,
for...
you may. 1 ether.
Yes.
One ether is all
got
you
it.
need.
Yep. That's my ether. Because I'm thinking in my head, if she says get natty, I'm gonna get natty over. Oh, please be better. Okay, no, it's just the same card over again.
Okay.
So it's gonna be that's gonna be a 4.
4. Natty does not have a super high will. He steps into the gazebo and he goes, "What's going on? What's going on with my father? Father? Papa?" And he looks to Oberon, who is in this body, and Oberon looks around, touches his throat, and sees that it's slit, and looks on the other side where the queen is, and moves towards where the queen is to get on the other side of the veil now.
And then, are you still pointing at him? Okay, I'm going to gonna melee throw him sumo wrestler style.
No. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I stopped this from happening. I will go before you trick someone into slavery. I'm sorry. We're not doing that.
The gate closes. There has been a hesitation. And you come back to your life. The veil closes. There was but a moment, and there was
Nell!
disagreement. And Nell is on the other side of the veil.
No. Wait. Don't you understand what we just did?
Don't you understand what you were about to do? You can't send somebody over there.
But
Trap them.
Isn't that his son?
That's what happened to Nell.
We chose this. We chose to try to help. This idiot has no choice in this.
Wasn't he the one that would continue the sacrifices?
That's his choice. And we can try to do something about that choice. But we can't just enslave him for something he hasn't done yet.
I would say continuing the sacrifice seems like...
But he hasn't done that yet. He still has to make that choice.
And the ground rumbles.
Is he here? Can he hear all of this?
He is trying to figure out what's going on, and he runs through where his father went, but he's just in the woods, right? Like, because the veil is closed. And as you argue the ethics of what is going to happen with that Bainbridge and what to do with Nell, that doom card is pulled. The effects will now commence. It's dark. It's pitch black. It's pitch black. Things shake. You hear a cry, a shout, a strangeness. Your eyes are closed. When you open them, presuming you do, you are in the gazebo. But the gazebo is not in the 1,000-year wood. It has been translocated. We pulled a second translocation card, my friends. The gazebo... Kalechi. It's home. You all are in Nigeria. In the place that once was your home, the question is, what will you do next? Where will you go? You are very far away from England. But are you far away from Nell. She's only on the other end of a veil, and there may be ways to find her or negotiate for her release. But it's not snowing or raining. The smells are the smells that you remember. You don't smell that kind of ozone of the Pontus. The disruptions are subsiding. The Pontus is receding. You have fixed it. The two are back where they should be, with their conflicts that we imagine them to have. The world will not shake apart, but right now, you are home. And a very old woman, very, very old. You can't even imagine how old she is, really, approaches all of you as you stand in this gazebo. And she says, "Looking at you, Kalechi. Grandfather? You have brought guests. We've been awaiting your return. I will get you food. A place to stay." And this woman walks and she gestures as this small village will give you somewhere to stay. And that is the end of our episode.
That leaves room for season 2, just saying. Now I'm so sorry. It literally goes against everything that Tilly believes in. I'm so sorry.
I know.
I know he was a dick, but like,
come back.
Yeah, just renew this. Tilly, Otto will now forever slightly hate you.
yeah, and I mean,
Otto
yeah,
puts
I
other
get it.
people, his people, over other people.
Yeah, but I didn't know. Tilly didn't know that was the trade, right?
Yep.
Like, she had no clue. I just thought you were taking revenge on this guy. I thought you were just throwing him in there for no reason.
Nope. My friends. But if Tilly, to quote that moment in Xanadu, the amazing movie from 1980 with Olivia Newton-John, if there is a way for Olivia Newton-John to go from there to here, there's a way to go from here to there.
Yeah.
And
I'm assuming Mom wants me back, so maybe there can be a trade, you know?
or at least a renegotiation of the contract.
Yeah. Which Otto knows how to do.
But I feel like that would be like a season 2.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. But you are currently not. You are somewhere different, where people have been waiting for you to return.
Whew.
What a
friends.
beautiful ending, man. Everything
that was
about that
wild.
ending was perfection, in my opinion. Like, Nell, I knew that it was not, like, good for Nell to switch it to Natty. You know, like, I didn't want to do that. But I also, I love that she tried, but now she's, like, in this scenario. It's so good. Anyway, sorry. Yeah.
Well, you know what we could do? We could talk about what would have happened if Natty had been turned over. But you know, we don't have time. If only we could have a Q&A session next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful segue.
Yeah. Oh, but wait, we can have a Q&A section next week. And we might also have one of the writers of Clockwork Dominion come and be a guest on the Q&A. So if you want to know some answers to some burning questions about how our characters are feeling, what we're thinking, including one of the writers, who's one of my good friends, Talia, who's like also a historian and like really cool. So, you know, she can be there. And then you all can be there next week for like a little Q&A, because I have some questions about everybody's feelings.
So if you have questions, that's a good point. Start thinking about them now. You can throw them in our Discord ahead of time so that we can collect them early, or you can show up on the day of and you'll be able to ask questions live throughout the chat. But a great way for us to get them early is to just pop them in the Discord, especially if you can't be there and you can only watch the VOD and you want to have your question answered.
because we got questions, but we gotta go. I want to
Yes.
first off, it was a great cliffhanger for getting Nell back, and
Dude.
everybody, I would like you all to say who you are, where we can find you next, and give some love. Give some love to the other folks, and I want to start with Luxie because I care.
Oh, thank you. About what? What's that?
Who
Hi.
are you? Where can we find you and give some love?
Hi. Well, I was Buttercup today, but in the streaming world, my name is Lexi Games. I'm a variety streamer on Twitch. I also do a lot of stuff with Table Story. You might have seen me on Witchcraft and Wizardry, State of Affairs, probably some other. Oh, there's other stuff. I've done some one shots. I am currently finishing up my Red Dead Redemption epilogue playthrough, and then I'm going to be moving on to, I think, the new Jedi Fallen Order. I haven't played it yet, and I'm obsessed. And I know PB is playing it, so I will pop in and be like, oh, I can't look, and then leave. And I would like to give all my love to Drac, because I just think Drac is just most incredible human, but also Kalechi is just so spectacular. And I'm so excited I got to roleplay with you. Okay, go.
Okay. You passed it off to Drac. So Drac, who are you? Where can we find you and give some love?
Hi, I'm Draconics, or Drac for short. You can find me on Twitter at Draconics, because I stream all over the place. That's probably the best place to find my schedule. So Draconics is DRAKONIQUES. It was great playing Kalechi. Honestly, I absolutely love him, but I also love everyone else's characters and being able to interact through him with them. It's just been great. I want to throw love to I want to throw love to everyone. I can't throw love to everyone. I want to throw love to everyone. For everyone's a flashback sequence, everyone interacting with their person from the past. It was just so good. And just Luxie, I adore Buttercup. I adore you. You're incredible, and I'm so happy to play with you again. So yeah, I'm gonna take the cop out and just give everyone love.
Thanks for having me back, by the way. It was so fun.
You're ours now.
Yeah, that's it.
There was a sacrifice, a trade made, so that we can have you.
Nell.
Hello.
Murgles. My Murgles. Who are you? Where can we find you? Give some love.
Hi, I'm Murgles. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Murgles, and I'm also on some Table Story stuff, including Witchcraft and Wizardry, and have been on some past shows, including Leech and The State of Affairs. And so, yeah, very grateful. Love for someone. I'm also gonna say everyone, because it was just so incredible, and everyone just made the best choices for their character, and just some of the performances today were just next level. So thank you so much for having me. I loved it.
Bonsai baby.
Hello.
Who are you? Where can we find you? Give some love.
Hello, yes, everybody. I am Bonsai Baby here on Twitch. You can just find me making lots of noises and screaming while I do woodworking here. I'm also at Gen Con TV on Fridays to give you all the nerd news. I will also love to send some love to Whack behind the scenes.
Yes,
for
please.
All those musical cues.
Amazing.
Excellent control
So
and
good.
everything. And thank you for giving us the accoutrement.
PB,
Yes.
who are you? Where can we find you and give some love?
I am traumatized, is what I am.
Nice.
I'm Pumpkinberry. You can find me at Twitch and Twitter at Pumpkinberry. And my goodness, this was so fun. I loved all of these characters. I loved Trooper's temptation. So I would like to give everybody love, but specifically Trooper, that coming in and just really hitting everybody's character. You really understood everyone well enough to kind of push those buttons, and that was really, really good. And it was great. And I'm so sad that Nell is stuck, but she's not trapped forever. And I will say that Tilly will do anything to get her back, but the right way and on her terms, not playing games.
Well, there are always games in the Fey realm, in the Borderlands,
Not trading other people without their say.
Oh, I'm so excited because then you've got Nell's over there for a bit, and maybe Nell might pick up a couple of interesting things, bits of interesting knowledge and things. And that's everybody, right? Yes. So me, I'm Trooper SJP. Right now, I'm going to be moving July 1st, so I'm basically mostly done. You can find me on my channel on, tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time, I'm going to be playing, what do you call it? The Divinity Original Sin with Little Red Dot. And we're going to go and do voices and be ridiculous. And so you can watch us play that. And then, really come next Saturday for a Q&A with one of the writers of the game and ask questions, and we get to talk to each other. And actually, PB and I have a surprise, I think. We're going to do our surprise next week. Yes, that'll be perfect.
Next week, yep.
Yeah, so next week we have a special surprise that PB and I are going to give you all if you come. So that's the temptation. I'm gonna draw my presence temptation card and say, come next week for a special.
So it's a pretty high score. So you should be there.
So that's it. We're going to go. And also, Whack is the best. And I'm going to give my love to the entire cast for just committing and being there. And for really, the big final challenge was not one you had to draw cards for. It was one that was about your temptations and to see where you were going to go. And that was the choice everybody made. So I loved it. Thank you so much. This was such a treat and a delight. And we're going to leave that cliffhanger to keep that door open just a little bit of a crack. Until next time, everybody, support Table Story, support all these amazing people, and
thank you for coming to GM for us, Trooper.
Please.
It was so good.
Thank
Incredible.
you. Thank you, Trooper.
You're